voice.
Hey guys, we are live here at #AfterDark.
It's fine.
We are going to be talking about a lot of things tonight.
All the things.
Mainly a lot of geek news, a lot of, I won't say personal stuff, but I guess probably some personal stuff. That'll slide through the cracks. Sorry, I wasn't on the Power Ranger show. I had to deal with personal issues, but I am here for this, for you, and for you, and for you. Joining me this week, I'm Joe. If you don't know who I am, get to fucking know me. And if you do know who I am, you also know this guy to my left, to your right. This is Daniel.
Hey, what's up, my people? What's going on?
And the D.
Hey, what's up, my people? The D.
And then to my right is Sarah. She just came from Long Beach Comic Con. I'm pretty sure you have some fun stories to tell us about that. Right here in California, it's about 100 degrees.
Oh my God, I could die.
Hey, it's probably above that. It's god awful hot.
Yeah, Daniel was literally sweating as he was text messaging.
I was.
So that's been a thing out here. We have a massive heat wave. But before we start the show, there's a couple things I want to tell you guys about. Number one, we have a TeePublic store. Check that out. Go to that hashtag or go to TeePublic. It's our t-shirt place. Go get our shirts. Go get our merch. TeePublic.com/that#show. Just do the search on there. You'll find us there.
That's a thing?
Yes. Also, we have the super chat feature. Just use the super chat feature to keep your comments on there. That helps support the show. But this week on super chat, we're going to do something special. I want to say a shout out to the people of Houston right now. Your city took a beating, but you guys are resilient, and I know everyone in Houston. Here, we'll share. Okay. I know that that you guys are going to come through it resiliently, but for this week and maybe for a few of our other chats, we're going to be sending all of our proceeds to Houston, to the Red Cross, to help out as much as we can. If we can't be there personally, at least you guys are staying safe, and it's cool that the community in Houston's coming together, but it's so tragic that it's coming together for such a bad cause. But now on to the show. Is there anything else we need to... share this out. Share this out on videos, on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter.
Facebook right now?
If you guys tweet us at that #show, we'll retweet you back. So just share us out as much as you can. Share us on Facebook, all social media. That would be great. But we have the chat up right here to our left. Daniel's going to be monitoring that. But we're going to talk about geek news.
We're going to talk... huge fire going on here.
Yeah, Burbank. The people in Burbank. And you wonder why I don't live in the valley.
There you go.
So the people in Burbank,
it is Satan's
keep safe, because those fires are crazy. Everything in the world is the United States is burning, and I don't know. I mean, we're not a political show, but
The U.S. is burning. You know what else is
things aren't going great.
You know what else is burning right now? The chat. And right now I'm looking at Twitter and I see Sarah is like the spitting image of Mary Jane.
I'll take it, guys. Thank you.
Bravo, bro. Jalen!
Only because my hair is straight today.
Jalen, Anna Mills, Blackwing. My gosh, there's so many of you guys in the chat room right now, and it's like I'm only seeing who actually types something, so that's the only reason I know you're there. So if you type something, I'll see it.
Let's
say something.
Let's get into this.
Texans have to stay strong.
You Texans, Jalen, you Texans do have to stay strong. Texas strong. I just a little bit of to lighten the mood a little bit. Your football team didn't stay strong today. Number 23, Texas fell to. This is not a sports show, but Texas did fall to Maryland. Texas played against Maryland. USC came out strong against Western Michigan, though they were struggling.
Yeah, but
they were struggling early on. USC pulled it out 49-31. Also, Florida lost in a battle with Michigan, and currently right now playing is Florida State, ranked number 3 against number 1 Alabama. That is on ABC. You can tune in there, but don't tune in there. Watch this. That's enough for. I'm a huge sports fan. For those of you guys that don't know,
I just had my draft.
Where'd you go to? Did you go to CIF or whatever?
49ers.
Or did you go to Central Florida?
I did not go to college. So
really?
I did not.
I thought you.
I was successful without higher education.
I thought that's where you met Josh. Was in college. No.
No, I met him working at Universal Studios for Halloween Horror Nights. I was a makeup artist, and he was his character.
Me and Daniel are both University of Southern California guys, USC guys. Fight on, go Trojans. We're ranked number 4 this year. Yep. Hopefully we can make it to the college football playoff.
My nails match your hat.
The wood dinosaur. Love it.
My football draft is tomorrow. But let's get on with the show. Let's talk about some geek stuff. Edward Sanchez, thank you for joining us. And the wood dinosaur. This is the first appearance. We haven't seen you yet.
Yeah.
Heyo, that's a fun name.
So we want to talk Oh, by the way, we're also going to do live call-ins later on down the line. But
That's so fun. I've never done that after dark.
Those are going to be a lot of fun. But the first thing I want to
Okay.
talk about is the big news going around. Actually, really dominated the news for the last 2 weeks. Was the Joker movies. So DC's come out and said that they want to do a Joker movie that's not taking place in the DC cinematic universe.
Right.
That they kind of wanted to let it stand on its own. And currently attached to it is Martin Scorsese to produce. But the studio is eyeing Leonardo DiCaprio. Now, Jared Leto was not happy about this,
Nope.
and according to Variety,
Yeah.
he said that he complained to his agency, CAA, about this, and now WME, which is another rival agency,
Yep.
is trying to recruit Jared Leto to their ranks. Now, let's talk about this and lay it on the
Better
table.
promise him the movie.
Right?
Let's really figure this out. Now, first of all, Daniel, let me start with you. I know you're a big Leonardo DiCaprio fan.
Yeah.
And I know he has the acting chops to pull off the role.
And we know he's worked with
Scorsese.
Scorsese already before.
Now,
So,
how do you feel about this, though?
I don't think it's fair to pull it away from Leto, even though, but then again, it's about making films, and I'm sorry if the fans all of a sudden shitted on this guy that, I think did a good job. Well, then, unfortunately, it's not
He
what the
did a
fans
good job
want.
with the material he's provided.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
but the fans didn't like it. They shat on him. So if they shat on you and they don't like you, well, we got to make a change. That's what the studio does.
You're right, Black, when you can't believe everything on the internet, but the truth is we have a lot of inside information
Yep.
on this. Same thing with the spoilers. We've heard a lot about this, too. Now, Sarah,
Hi.
how do you feel about this whole thing?
I am not. Okay, I'm gonna start with. I'm gonna compliment sandwich this bitch. So I love the fact that they want to do a Joker kind of origin standalone movie, whether it's actually an origin movie or not, because I think he's such an interesting and complex character that I would love for him to have his own thing. As far as being Jared Leto, I agree. Jared Leto did a great job with the material given. I think he brought us a modern, relevant
I couldn't agree more.
Joker. That if the Joker was alive today, like actually real and like a gangster now, that's who he'd be. He'd be the gangster in the club, popping bottles, gold chains.
Exactly.
Like that's who he is.
Exactly.
That's who runs the world right now. Not a man in a pinstripe fucking suit.
Yeah.
Or I mean, truthfully, or like to contrast that, or the Heath Ledger Joker also could run the
Right,
world,
which is like the
so
crazy,
completely different
yes,
though,
absolutely.
But
But
neither
he
one of
had
them-
to go different
Yeah.
because you don't want to get that comparison.
You can't. As far as it being Leonardo DiCaprio, I'm pretty sure I'm the only female who doesn't like him as an actor since Romeo and Juliet.
Interesting.
I think
Ooh.
he hasn't been good since Romeo and Juliet, Titanic, Basketball Diaries, What's Eating Gilbert Grape. After that,
Shutter
he
Island
started
was a good
trying
film.
too
For
hard.
Shutter Island.
For him.
Shutter Island was fine.
I feel he
And
did
he
good on-
he skimmed the
did
surface
good.
of I'm Leonardo DiCaprio. And if
But-
he would just hug onto I'm Leo and just be who he is and stop trying to stretch into stuff that for whatever reason he can't shake, don't give him movies with accents. Can we not?
Oh, God.
I mean, I
Give
wasn't
him a
big-
movie where he
Departed?
has to be another human
Wait,
being.
but The Departed-
Can we not?
He didn't have an accent in Departed, really.
Yes, he
was.
did.
Yeah, he was.
Because
Did
it
he?
was
He was
there
Southie.
and it was gone.
he was
And it
fucking
was there for
Southie.
Well,
two
somebody,
words
you know,
and then it was gone.
a film that- a
You
film-
want me to do him Southie?
A film that I really did like Leonardo DiCaprio, and which I thought was his last really good film, was Aviator, with where he played Howard
Or is
Hughes.
Howard
Also
Hughes.
Scorsese film.
But again,
But-
can
but-
we not have him
I
have
agree
to
with
be
you,
a person?
but I also understand. I understand Jared Leto's being upset with
I'm
this
just not a
because
fan of Leonardo
you got to
DiCaprio.
think that if this is an origin movie, number one, I don't want an origin Joker movie, and I'll tell you why. I think the Joker is one of the only characters left in pop culture that has this aura of mystery behind him, where you don't need to know his name, you don't need to know his face, you just get the Joker, and I think the Joker
But
transcends
didn't we kind of get an origin with the Joker with
the original Michael Keaton Batman.
no, what's the comic
The
book?
Killing Joke?
Yes.
Well, the Killing Joke isn't. The Killing Joke's a tough thing. You get somewhat of an origin of the Joker,
Right.
but you don't get the Joker.
Well, see, that's the thing. And also in The Killing Joke, he says the line that could mean, hey, you can choose to throw this all away by saying, sometimes I remember it differently. Like, he literally says that. Like, he says, at the end of it all, after he says that, all that whole thing, and I had a girl and she was pregnant and blah, blah, and all that stuff, and I was a struggling comic, and then after that, he's through the whole thing, and he says, but sometimes I remember it differently. And it was just like, wait, so you're telling me this could be one of those times that you remember it? Fuck!
Well, the second thing, the
I
reason
didn't
I
take
was
that line that way, but I can see how
the
you
reason
can.
I was saying it too is that you can also. I think it's a little unfair to
true.
Jared Leto because if this is an origin movie, Leonardo DiCaprio is not younger than Jared Leto.
No.
So you're not necessarily placing
That's
this into
very
that
true.
timeline.
Actually, he is.
Is he?
Yeah, Jared Leto's like in his 40s.
Well, regardless,
he's
I actually
just a vampire
I actually
like
think
me.
they're both in their
how
40s.
true. There
But
you go.
I'm
I
not 40.
There
Let's
you
let
go.
the whole.
I do think that they're close enough in age though where it doesn't quite make sense. If you're gonna go with the kid, like Jezer says in the chat, like the kid from Gotham, okay, I can see it. I'd even get on board with it. But I'm okay. I mean, listen, the movie's going to make a lot of money. If it is Leonardo DiCaprio, Martin Scorsese, and the Joker, the movie's going to do box office numbers like we couldn't believe.
Well,
But
I mean, yeah.
but if it's not,
It'll do
Blackman
box
does say-
office numbers, but is it going to be good?
I think so. I mean, listen, if you're going to give,
This is just where it come from with Leonardo DiCaprio.
I think it will.
I think
The thing
he's
is-
I want him to I like him in Catch Me If You Can because he played himself.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
I love
He's
that movie.
good when he plays himself.
It was good. But Blackwing does say something where it's like, all right, Jack Nicholson had a mobster style. Heath Ledger was just a monster. And,
Jared was a
Jared Leto
gangster.
was a gangster.
Absolutely.
And that's very true. That's true. It's like different iterations, but they were good at the time that they were there. That's what I think.
Relevant.
And I feel Leto was relevant, and I think people need to stop shitting on him.
Sarah, favorite Joker?
What do you mean?
Who's your favorite Joker?
Like
Oh, they're very
actor-wise?
close in age. Jared Leto's 45 and Leonardo DiCaprio's 42.
Oh, okay.
Very close. So, who's your favorite Joker?
Like actor wise?
Any Joker, yeah.
Oh, Heath Ledger would be
All
my
right,
favorite.
Daniel?
Same.
See, me, Mark Hamill, 100% all the way.
Oh, voice.
I don't watch
Well,
enough.
not only that, I can see
To-
Mark
of
Hamill
the
as an old
cartoons.
Joker. Like, if they actually made him the old Joker,
He
I
would
Yeah.
do
He'd be
well.
great.
And there's that brooding that it would just be that brooding darkness where he's like, like I may do all this, but I never actually.
If they
saw
ever
it.
made a Batman movie where he's older, not like, I'm not talking like Ben Affleck's supposed to be in his 40s, but I'm talking like maybe like if they brought Michael Keaton back, or maybe like one of these old, like an
we
older
actually do the
distinguished
Dark- we
actor.
actually do the Dark Knight?
If you actually do the Dark Knight, I would love for them to bring in Mark Hamill to actually act
Josh
as
Brolin.
Joker.
Oh.
Like,
Well,
you mean if he was Batman?
Batman.
Yeah.
You know who I actually wanted instead of Ben Affleck, and there's two choices that I'm surprised that weren't even in consideration. Because obviously Josh Brolin got the role, they turned it down, and they went with Ben Affleck. But in my world, I would have loved to have seen either one out of two guys. Jim Caviezel, who played Jesus, and he also played. He was on
Count of Monte Cristo.
yeah, and he was also on that one show that what
Person of Interest.
Person of Interest. The other one, actually, if they were going to go a little bit younger, like more, is honestly Jamie Lannister. I think Jamie Lannister would be a great Batman.
Nikolai whatever.
Coster-Wardlow.
Yeah.
I think he'd be great.
Great. You say
Interesting.
Joker?
Batman.
Oh, Batman.
He looks like he can be a
You
Batman.
think so?
Yeah, he can
He
play
looks
that
like a-
pretty boy rich
Kind
guy.
of like in the Val Kilmer.
The Val Kilmer
kind
era,
of
but-
way.
But he could do it. He could pull it off. I
Okay.
think so.
I could see that because like you have to have one that can play the suave, rich.
I
Bruce
do think-
Wayne, and that translates into the rugged.
I do think
So,
Ben
like,
Affleck's
I didn't-
perfect, though.
I like Val Kilmer's my favorite Batman.
Really, he's a good Batman. He's just not a great Bruce Wayne.
Really, I love him as Bruce Wayne.
I hate him
because
as
he's
Bruce
so
Wayne.
attractive and charming and like.
He's not charming. You got to go rewatch that movie. He's very.
I think he's
It's
charming.
very aloof. Like he's very. Man, Val Kilmer. I like Val Kilmer's Batman because he was the stoic Batman that was like very dry humor. Whereas I think George Clooney was the perfect Bruce Wayne, where he was Bruce Wayne, but he was also Bruce Wayne. He was George Clooney's Batman reminded me of a redo of Adam West's Batman.
Adam West. That's what I thought. And I actually forgot his. I really have. I forgot his Bruce Wayne. Val Kilmer's Bruce Wayne. I forgot his Bruce Wayne.
Really?
Yeah, you
I
don't
really
remember?
have forgotten. Not Val Kilmer.
George Clooney.
George Clooney's.
Because it was.
Holy Rusted Metal, Batman.
I don't even
Like,
remember.
but the thing is,
his-
it's
No, I
so
remember his
unfair
Batman.
to
I
like
remember his Batman, but I
even
don't remember
when you
his Bruce
get to
Wayne.
like the George Clooney Batman. Like it's just not even fair to compare because they just became like caricatures of
Well,
characters, and like
yeah,
the movies just
well-
became like so campy and farcy.
I like those shoes.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
That's why I say Holy
favorite.
Rusted Metal Batman. It's holy. It's rusted.
No,
Yeah, so we had a thing
What?
where they were where we had the people in the chat all figure out which Justice League members we would be, and I got Batman, and then I was like, I don't really see myself, but then I could see myself as the Bruce Wayne, like those shoes.
Like those
It's
shoes.
my
Like
those
favorite.
shoes.
It's my favorite line of the movie. All right, let's move on. Let's switch gears for a second. Let's talk about we're a week out. Let's talk about Game of Thrones real quick.
Yes.
Let's talk about some finale. I mean, we did a whole Game of Thrones after show, so we're gonna just retouch on it a little bit. I really want to know what you guys thought and where you see the show
God.
going.
Oh, who's starting this one?
Sarah, we'll start with you.
Yes. This finale gave me everything I could have ever wanted in a finale. It like gave me suspense at the end. It gave me the hookup of my dreams. It gave me almost a freaking heart attack at one point. Do you want me to go into detail as well, or we just like?
We did a whole after show about it.
Okay. I almost had a heart attack because I thought the mountain was going to kill Jamie. Like, he's standing there, he lifted the sword, and I was like, no! Like, out loud, you can ask my roommate. Like, that is not how Jamie goes down! And that's not how Jamie goes down, and I'm okay with it.
He'll eventually go down, though.
Well, yeah, he's gonna, I think it's gonna be a double thing. I think he's gonna kill Cersei and kill himself.
Oh.
That's how I think that's
You think he's
gonna
kill himself?
Yes.
Interesting, okay.
I do.
Wrought with just like, what, guilt? Or?
Yeah. Queenslayer. Kingslayer becomes the Queenslayer, and then because he loved her, he couldn't. It's gonna be one of those cow things.
You?
Okay. I mean, shoot. I think the prophecy has to go through, so Jamie will end up killing his sister. I did enjoy, even though it's weird to say, the incestuous hookup.
Oh my god, it had to happen. I'm live for it.
But it's the one incestuous hookup that I say,
let it happen.
Bravo.
How many incestuous hookups have you seen?
Well, I don't know. How many times have we watched Game of Thrones?
Seriously.
It happened.
It was an Old Boy, too.
It happened. And on Old Boy. Oh my gosh, it happened so much.
And then that old question you always give to people about the twins.
Oh, yeah.
Or the sisters.
Yeah.
Also like flowers in the attic.
It's just like, well, I mean, I'm not in it.
You're in it. You're in it.
I'm not the one that's before
if you
the
were.
incest. I'm there.
Jesser says Jamie and Brienne are true love.
I think that Brienne belongs with
Tormund.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
They're so great.
Oh my god! I mean, dude,
I think Jamie, honestly, like I feel that I would end up being the Jamie, but I feel that he should just be alone.
It's like
he needs some Jamie time. He needs some Jamie time.
I love that the sisters came together. I honestly wasn't sure if Sansa was in on it with Arya. I knew Arya was playing Littlefinger, but I didn't know if Sansa was.
Sansa is the Queen of Thrones. I feel like Sansa's growing into the next Cersei, to be honest with you. She is growing into the next Cersei.
She'll be Queen of the North, absolutely. She'll be there.
She won't be Queen of
Well, I don't think John's going to take the throne, though.
No, I don't think so.
He's going to give it to Khaleesi.
And he'll be married to her regardless. They're just going to be married, and then Tyrion, if he doesn't die,
we'll see if Bran wants to be a cockblocker and be like, P.S. That's
Bran.
your aunt.
Right? Bran's got to tell him.
What do you mean,
honestly, that might not even matter, because if you think about the time period, and
the Targaryens
Daenerys' parents were brother and sister.
Yeah, true.
So at least with it being aunt and nephew, the bloodline's a little bit separated.
Daenerys is progressive, and she's not one of the ones that always sticks to tradition in that way.
But also,
if she does see a flaw in it, she was like, no, we're abandoning that.
Well, I think, she'll see a flaw in it, but at the same time be okay with it.
That's true. She's like, well, it's fine.
He's powerful. He's a connection. He's from the South. They didn't grow up
Okay, well, guys, now...
I'm sorry.
Now I need to know what your prediction for next season is. Just give me one.
She's going to be pregnant.
Yes.
Who's she?
Daenerys.
All right. Well, she can't get pregnant now, but you think that's going to happen,
right? No, she says she can't, and John was like...
He's like, I love it. He's like, who told you that? Well, this witch lady who killed my husband.
John's not going to take the throne. I think what's going to happen is he's going to give up the throne
for her.
Absolutely. Watch. So what do you think?
I agree with both of you. That's what I think. I think she's absolutely going to get pregnant because that crazy lady.
If you watch our Disney show, I think Brianna has the best theory I've ever heard about Game of Thrones.
Oh my God.
Is that
it's amazing.
This is what Brianna says. So watch the Disney show. She says that she thinks that since Bran can kind of go back in time with his whole three-eyed raven thing, that he was the original person that told the Mad King that the White Walkers are coming, which is winter is coming, because he can affect that. That's what happened to Hodor. And that's why the Mad King sent fire to everybody and set everybody on fire to protect everybody from the White Walkers. And I think somehow that's going to end up showing in the past. And this is all going to end up being Bran's fault. And I think somebody's going to call him out on it.
So they brought that whole theory of Bran being the Ice King?
That's...
What if he goes back to do this, talks to the Mad King, he figures out, damn, I didn't fix it. I need to go back even farther.
Can we not learn from Barry Allen?
No, I'm saying he goes back even farther. He gets trapped in the body of the guy who ends up later becomes the Night King.
Okay, real quick question, and then we'll move on from this. Who was your favorite time traveler of all time? And then we're going to move on to the next topic.
Sam Beckett.
Who's Sam Beckett?
From Quantum Leap.
Quantum Leap.
That's yours?
No, the Doctor, man.
I knew you were going to say the Doctor.
Come on.
Mine is probably, I'm going to cater to the Power Ranger fans. I'm going to say Jen, the Pink Time Force Ranger. All right, so let's move on to the next thing. Next thing I want to talk about is the Inhumans. So we had a chance to talk to the actors, the actors of the Inhumans. But before we get to that, we know that it opened up in IMAX. Any of you guys see it yet? I don't think you guys are probably going to.
No, I'm not going to. Yeah. I'm going to wait until it comes on TV.
So it's getting not great reviews as we've known. But everything after the initial watching was that it's not as bad as everyone thought it was. Okay. What are your expectations about the Inhumans, and what do you want to see, and what do you expect?
ABC doesn't have a good track record of starting off strong when it comes to heroes.
No.
But they end up finding their niche if they're allowed to.
Well, I think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. started strong in the first few episodes.
The only reason it started strong in the first few episodes because they were so intricately connected to the films.
Yeah.
That's why. And people were like, okay,
we need to know why he's alive. We got to know why Coulson is here.
Exactly. So that was a big mystery. Once we found that out, there was nothing for about a good season where people were just like, why am I still watching the show? I asked it, I walked away from it, I came back, and it feels like I missed nothing because the show is amazing now. That's the thing. They figured out where their stride was. Once they were like, oh, well, we're kind of going to cut ourselves from the films. Yeah, we know we have to at least point out one particular thing, but we don't have to do everything.
Right.
Once they did that, the reins were off, and they were able to just go for it. It's so good. It is so good right now. The show is amazing. So I
back
feel
to the
they're going to do the
Inhumans.
same thing with. I feel that's the example of exactly what's going to happen with the Inhumans. I don't feel ABC learns from its lessons.
Well, so you're not going to see it in IMAX, but how many episodes are you going to? It's only like 8 episodes.
Oh no!
Are you going to watch the whole season?
My rule is always the rule of three.
The season's only 8 episodes.
See, I'm a 4. Yeah, it's only
You're
only
a 4. You're a 4.
Oh, well, then I'm basically
yeah.
going to watch the thing. I'm a 6 episoder.
Well, I got to watch the whole thing because
really?
I'm doing the new Marvel show.
Well,
so
yeah.
So I'm a rule of 3. You're a 4, and you're a 6.
Wow,
Oh
6.
man, you will go through 6 episodes.
So
Well,
here's-
because honestly, a lot of the first few episodes are all exposition and setup. If I hadn't given Game of Thrones 6 episodes, I never would have gotten into
Oh my God!
it.
Well,
So let me ask you.
That's
Now here's
That's why.
here's my question.
Same
is,
with True Blood. There's a lot
How
of
did
shows
you
I'm
guys?
like
How
that.
did you come to your number with 3 and 6? I can tell you 4 for me. I watched Lost. I was sold on the first episode, but then I wanted to see where it went, and I was hooked by episode 4. If you got me hooked by episode 4, I'm in. But how do you guys?
I don't know. My rule of 3 just came from like I've watched particular shows and it's been like, oh man, I've watched a show the whole way through and I'm like, dang, I really should stop watching it at episode 3. And I say that for some shows where it's just like, yeah, I really should have done that. So that just became my rule. Because usually the first 2 episodes, if it's it may be if it's a half an hour show, the first 2 episodes are really supposed to be put together to make it one whole hour, and then the next episode is the one that's like, now that we've done this for our pilot, here goes where we're actually running. So it's like, that's how I always see it.
Interesting.
How'd you get to 6?
Mine 6 was True Blood.
So if you're gonna watch a Netflix show, you're already in because you're like halfway through the seasons of like 13 episodes.
Yeah, I mean, I've been like, I'll get back to that thought in a second. But yeah, with True Blood, everyone's talking about how great it was. I'm like, this show is garbage. Why are people watching this show? And then I got to episode 6, and I was like, and I'm in. So that's happened to me multiple times. Game of Thrones is another example of that. Hemlock Grove, which was a show on Netflix,
I heard a lot of good
is
things about it.
terrible.
It's
There's
not
no
good,
good things
huh?
about that show. But I finished the whole season because I had nothing else to watch, and I was like, why am I torturing myself? I just gotta get
I heard it one time.
I heard it was
like,
good
oh my
too.
It
God.
is so bad. Maybe
All right,
the
so I'm gonna
next.
skip that. I'm gonna watch Death Note then.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so I see that Blackwing is a 5-episode watcher. So 5 episodes and that's it for you. That's still a lot, man.
Yeah, I just feel like you got to get through the first few that are going to set up the story and kind of where they're going to go, and then they're going to give you the hooker episode. And
Hooker. Oh, gotcha.
Like hook, line, singer.
Gotcha.
I
Sticker.
was like, what?
He was
This
like,
sounds
wait a
good
minute.
TV.
Yeah,
This
they're
happened
giving
to-
you.
This sounds like must-see
Here,
TV.
They're giving you the Ringer episode, and that's like what's supposed to keep you there. And
Hooker
like
episode,
Game
yeah.
of Thrones, if I hadn't done that with Game of Thrones, I would have stopped watching after episode 2 or 3.
I was in.
But I kept going. I was like, this is so much exposition. So something's got to happen.
Well, earlier
then
this
it happened.
week,
Look where I'm at.
Kelly and I were at the Inhumans red carpet premiere. Kelly got to interview the cast,
Full season
and
watcher.
she got to talk to one of the newcomers for the show, which is Emily Walglum, who was playing an undisclosed character. But Kelly got a scoop on it, and let's cut to that video.
Humans mythology. How does your character function on the show? My character functions sort of as the eyes and the ears for the audience. I am a human for now. I'm just gonna say that. I mean, I don't. That's just me, wishful thinking on my part. But no, I'm the eyes and the ears for the audience. So I sort of discover this world and the Inhumans, and I go on this journey that the audience will hopefully go along with me. But everything that we're discovering, whether about their society and how it operates, or the relationships and dynamics between them, or the circumstances that they're under, we will do so through my character because I'm discovering it simultaneously as well.
Do you feel like this gave you a lot of creative freedom with your character?
Oh, absolutely. A ton of creative freedom, which was amazing, which was really nice. Yeah, I think when they first wrote the character, I'm not sure, because it's not based on a comic, I'm not sure they had a specific thing in mind, so it gave me a lot of creative license to kind of together creatively decide who we wanted her to be and her backstory and how she would operate under particular circumstances and environments. And it allowed me, she's a really fun and quirky and goofy character, although she's very smart, obviously. I mean, she works for an aerospace company, and she's incredibly bright and incredibly driven and focused professionally when it comes to her work. But she's a really funny and goofy character, which was a lot of fun to do.
So what went into your process for preparing for your character?
I think just feeling like, I wanted her to be, because it's a superhero show, I wanted her to be grounded. And it was really important to me to feel like at ease and comfortable to just sort of bring, whether my own humor or aspects of my own personality. I mean, she's very different than who I am, but I think in order to ground the character, it was important to me that felt comfortable in a safe, environment to do so. So yeah.
And what was your experience working with Marvel?
Amazing. It's been so exciting, and they're so inclusive, and they're so supportive. Back to the creative thing with my character, when I first got the job, Jeff Loeb called me and he was like, welcome to the family, and if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to call me or contact me directly. And I always felt that way, that I could. And they're really behind you, and it was a family. It really feels like a family, and that was a really wonderful way to feel and experience.
And if you could give this show a hashtag to describe it, what would you choose?
Amazing. No, I don't know. Hashtag. My new favorite show.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Well, Ellen, I think that you might be the only one. Just kidding. No, that was a great interview. Thank you, Kelly, for that. Guys, let me get your final verdicts on this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Will you give it all 8 episodes, Daniel?
I'll probably give it all 8 episodes.
Sarah?
Probably. I mean, it just depends on where it falls in my TV watching schedule. I don't know much about the Inhumans.
See, I love the Inhumans. I'm a huge Black Bolt
fan.
fan.
But I love Iwan.
He's a great actor.
The guy
and
Ramsey
you know
Bolton,
what?
He's from Misfits. I love him. So
Here's
I really
the thing.
More than
So
anything,
I met him.
I
did the set visit in Hawaii, and he was literally sitting this close to me. And I was talking to him, and because we had round tables, and I was talking to him,
handsome shirt.
and I literally wanted to punch him right in the face, right in his kneecap.
Why? Because he's Ramsey Bolton.
Yeah, and I was like,
hey, Ramsey,
it took me, but you know what? He really is Ramsey Bolton. So we were talking or whatever, and he's like, and when he left the table, he was like, that motherfucker's so charming. I think I like him now. And the whole time I was like, this is Ramsey Bolton. I could kill you right here. I was thinking that the whole time. I could take this guy. But
did you watch Misfits?
No, but I heard he's great in that.
He's so great. Watch the first three seasons of Misfits. After that, it's terrible.
Always bad.
But he's great. He's a great actor.
Did he turn on Misfits?
He's not a villain, really.
Oh, okay. But he
becomes the anti-hero.
Oh, okay. I thought he turned on the team essentially.
No.
Right. Next topic I want to bring up is how do you guys feel about remakes? Remakes of old films.
It honestly depends on the show, because there's so
not shows. I'm talking movies.
Sorry. It depends on the movie. Because there's so many movies that have been remade from movies in the 20s and 30s that no one even realizes are remakes until those remakes get remade and the people have
I didn't know that movie Guess Who was a remake with Bernie Mac. I thought it was based on the board game.
Yeah,
but with Ashton Kutcher and Bernie Mac.
It's the Sidney Poitier movie, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner.
Well, because I thought it was the board game. You remember the heads that you flip up and you flip down?
I love Guess Who.
I thought that was Guess Who.
If you get a girl, you're done.
It makes sense. Tell me it didn't make sense. You got a guy coming to dinner, Guess Who? It's is he black? No.
Is he wearing glasses?
Yeah.
Does he have green eyes?
They asked that question.
Right?
Well, it's
that's
like
what I
Ocean's
thought.
11 was an old movie with what?
Because
like
remember at
Frank
the time
Sinatra?
they were doing like Battleship
games,
and
yeah, sure.
board games were a thing. So I
Best
thought
board game film is Clue, though.
I get it.
yeah, that's probably
Just
true.
saying.
But that was like 3 endings by the way. But I also like I was like, oh, so this is the Guess Who
What up,
board game.
Tony?
Hey, what's up?
Sorry. saying hello.
That's Marco. Hey, Marco.
Hey, what's up, man?
So I got a question. Remakes. Daniel, what do you feel about? Because there's certain movies that are untouchable.
Yeah, true.
Like
Very
I'd
true.
never want to see a Back to the Future remake ever.
Ever. No, that better not happen.
not
That
touch
better
that
not
movie.
happen.
Ever.
Remakes can be good. I propose to you one that was very good. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The one
Better than the
one with-
original.
the one
I
with
say
Jessica-
that as a
the one
horror
with
fan.
Jessica Biel. Funny
Yeah.
enough, people don't pay attention to that. You know, there's no score in that film.
Score? Oh, really?
No score in that.
I didn't
film.
realize that.
And it's just it runs
That
so
movie
well.
is so
the
good.
pacing is so good. They shot it so
Another
great.
one?
The one that gets me every time.
Okay.
Sorry, just
No, go ahead,
the
go
one
ahead, I'm
That gets
sorry.
me where that girl is in the house and she's screaming, and he just shows up behind her and
Say it
right
on
back
3. I
ahead.
think I know what you're gonna say. Say it
And
on
then,
3.
I loved it.
1, 2, 3. Kid
Hills
in King
Have
Arthur's
Eyes.
Court.
You
What?
can't.
Idiot.
That's not even
What
a
is
reason.
that?
Hills Have eyes.
Oh, really?
That
I
was
think
creepy. The
remake
new
of
one, the
Hills Have
remake's
Eyes
better.
is real good.
Ooh.
Also, Last House on the Left is also a really good.
Last
remake.
House
But
on
the
Last one.
originals,
Terrifying too.
yeah, pretty
Yes.
out there. So I speak about remakes because there's a lot of movies being remade now. We got Godzilla, which is now going to be in a sequel with Miley Bobby Brown, which is
Right.
who's best known for Stranger Things. We got a lot of new movies.
Well, is this new Godzilla a sequel to the one that the remake that already came out?
It's a sequel to that, but it's gonna have, I believe, it's gonna have Mothra in it.
That'd be awesome.
So that's
I
a big
like
thing.
monster remakes only because I like that we can do better effects.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well. So
Yeah.
I think some of that stuff is charm. It's breaking on camera. You guys don't give a fuck.
You're
You
fine.
guys
Like
know
we're
me.
getting a Bride of Frankenstein movie, which
I
I'm
don't think we are.
kind of into.
I don't think we're gonna get that.
You don't.
No
Variety
way.
just did an article on
It's
it.
not gonna happen.
Well, I think 'cause that whole thing about the monsters, they feel that whatchamacallit, Dracula. Didn't
Well,
do what they
no.
expected.
Mummy?
Dracula was fine. Mummy, on the other hand,
Oh,
bomb.
Mummy.
Bomb.
Okay.
Well, because
So-
they did
Dracula
Mission
Unleashed
Impossible
was-
as a mummy movie, and that's just not what those
Well,
movies
here's the
are.
deal. Tom Cruise is great at doing Tom Cruise movies.
Like Leonardo DiCaprio.
Or Tom Cruise is great at playing Les Grossman. But that's it. Like, don't give, or Tom. I
Yeah,
personally
big
think
player.
Tom Cruise at this point in his
Yeah.
career, and nothing against Tom Cruise because I think he's done a lot for American cinematic history. However, with that being said,
Mission Impossible franchise.
I also think that Tom Cruise. People have Tom Cruise fatigue, so you have to surround him with a good cast.
Right.
It is
He's
very
not.
true.
He's not an actor nowadays that you're going to put in a centerpiece. Mission Impossible might be the only thing, but Mission Impossible's lucky because if another movie comes out the same date, that movie's going to get all the attention.
Right.
But Tom Cruise is in a very unique
But
spot.
he's been talking about like finally stepping down. We thought that Ghost Rogue, the Rogue
Yeah.
Nation or whatever that one was.
I heard that was a
You
good
know,
movie. I haven't seen that one.
I loved it. It had
I just want to
Jeremy
address
Renner?
Yeah.
Blackwing. He's like, I did watch Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, but it had a remake. No, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner is a remake.
Of Guess Who, based on the board game with Bernie Mac
Stop
and
it.
Ashton Kutcher.
Guess Who's Coming to-
based on Bernie Mac.
Guess Who is a remake of the old Sidney Poitier film of Guess Who's Coming to Dinner.
Exactly.
Which is a remake of the game, the board
Stop
game, which you can
it.
play. We'll probably do one of those for. We did board Game of Thrones. We'll play Guess Who
Ridiculous.
really intensely.
What is another?
Are you wearing glasses?
What's an untouchable film for you besides Back to the Future?
What's an untouchable film for me? Well, number one, Godfather. You cannot touch Godfather. It's the era in which Godfather is
Yeah.
that you can't really reduplicate. Another one which you can't really touch anyway. You can just kind of remake it in your own version. But it's a historical piece. It's one of the only historical
Ben-Hur?
movies. No, it's one of the only historical movies that I think is
Ten Commandments?
just a great. No, it's Tombstone. One of
Oh
the
my
best.
god, it's one of my favorite movies of all
Me too.
time, Joe.
One of the best movies. When I interviewed Kurt Russell, I was like, dude, this is Wyatt Earp. Like, that is one of my favorite movies of all time.
I'm your Huckleberry.
I'm your Huckleberry.
Yeah, Val Kilmer.
You're a
Like,
daisy if you do.
for me, you can't.
Hold on. I need a thing.
Right after they did oh yeah, he did the thing. Well, right after they did a Tombstone, they tried to come up with Wyatt Earp with Kevin Costner. It was a good
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
But
Well, those movies were supposed to come out at the same time.
it was
Yeah.
not. Yeah, but Tombstone blew it away.
Very good.
That's it. Imagine like.
I made my mom. I was in Mesa, Arizona for 2 weeks in high school, getting my back fixed, and that's a whole other story. And I made my mom drive me 2 hours to Tombstone so I could actually go see the
I would
OK
love-
Corral.
No way.
Yes, the OK Corral is smaller than the room we're in right now.
Oh, really?
It's a real the story of no one died is insane. Like it's honestly the size of The Office.
Really?
Like it's like a 10 by 10, maybe 15 by 15.
Was it like an
square.
episode of G.I. Joe where they just miss each other with their shooting?
Dude, I don't. It's just crazy to look at, and they also have like you can get bumper stickers with like Val Kilmer quotes, but the real Doc Holliday on them.
Does he look different?
Oh yeah. And there's also obviously reenactments and stuff.
Well, the great thing about that
it's so
movie is a lot of
great.
people don't realize it because I love cinema, I love movies, but a lot of people don't realize all the cameos that were in that movie. Like,
Well, would they be cameos or just people before they were big?
well, no, because a lot of people
like
were
watching
big.
old school,
Charlton
like
Heston's in
90s
it.
movies.
Like
What?
Charlton Heston's in the movie.
Really?
But he's not in it. He's only in it for 5 minutes. He's the one that takes Doc Holliday in. He's like, if they have to come through us, we'll take care of him, but they have to come through us. That's when Wyatt Earp goes up to the thing to go fight him. That's Charlton Heston. Jason Priestley, who's Brandon Walsh, he's in the movie. But there's so many small
He's the
cameos.
boyfriend of the
He's the boyfriend.
actor.
Also Marvel fans of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., somebody that just passed away recently.
Yeah. He's in it.
What's
got
his
the
name?
red bandana.
Yeah, he was. What's his name? Oh, what is his name escaping me? I just hyped him up. Huh? No, Paxton,
No.
but he's also in it.
He's in it.
But I can't remember the
actress
main
lady.
guy, Cowboy
yeah.
Bill or Bob or whatever.
Yeah.
But
The guy
he's
that's
in
on
it.
the ranch.
Oh man, everybody's an iconic act. Like Sam Elliott's one of the
That's what I'm
brothers
talking
who's
about.
who's in it. You also
God,
have
that movie is so
you also have Michael
You've never
Rooker.
watched Tombstone.
Oh, yeah.
Billy
Please
Bob
do yourself
Thornton.
a
Billy
favor.
Bob Thornton's the card dealer that he gets slapped around. There's so many actors in that movie.
Yeah, dude, rewatch that movie now.
If you rewatch that movie and you would be able to be like, man, every single scene has a huge actor in it. So they did their jobs right, and it's funny because I can't even tell you who the director was.
I can't.
Isn't that crazy?
That movie's so great.
It's
though.
a great movie. You can't tell you who the director was.
Wow.
And hell's coming with me.
It's narrated by Robert Mitchum, which is a
We're not going to
huge,
do the calling as
good.
of yet.
I
amazing
can't.
film.
A little bit of time.
Now we're talking about this. We
about amazing actor
spent a lot
Kurt
of time
Russell.
on
Yeah.
Tombstone,
God, I love
but
Kurt
another
Russell.
classic for its time. And if you watch it, you go back and watch it. It's a sci-fi movie. If you go back and watch it, it still stands up to this day. And that's Blade Runner.
I've actually never seen it.
You've never seen Blade Runner? Wow, it's an amazing film.
Just be prepared. You're going to have to watch the director's cut.
You think so?
I mean, that's what people always say.
I don't think so.
blah, blah, blah.
You can watch Blade Runner
That's
in
what I'm
any
saying.
iteration.
If you watch the director's cut, it's going to be a while. It's going to be a while. It's just going to be like, it's so long movie.
Watch Blade Runner. It's a great film, but it set the standards for sci-fi. Now, here's an interesting thing. Have you seen it?
Yeah, of course.
So with Blade Runner, that was Harrison Ford's like maybe third or fourth movie, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
I want to say actually it was right either after Return of the Jedi or right before Return of the Jedi. I can't remember, but it wasn't far deep into his career. It for sure wasn't before Indiana Jones.
Right.
But watch that movie because if you actually watch it, Rutger Hauser is the main villain. But if you watch that movie, it still stands up to this day because of the surrounding environment. One thing that movie did.
Cyberpunk.
Yeah, exactly. It was that kind of dystopian punk era.
Later Akira was going crazy.
That's
over
exactly
what
it.
They had to do with,
It set the tone for a lot of sci-fi stuff. But at Comic-Con, they had their very own setup for Blade Runner. Did any of you guys get to experience
No.
it?
I wasn't there.
Now, Blade Runner was directed. The original was.
Hurt much?
You weren't there yet.
Yes.
The Blade Runner was directed by Ridley Scott. The new sequel is going to be directed by Denis Villeneuve. Now, if you're not familiar with his work, he did Arrival. He's done a lot of great films. Now, are you going to see Blade Runner?
Yes.
Right? It's Ryan Gosling
Are you kidding? Jared Leto and Ryan Gosling are in the same movie together. I'm gonna have to sit alone.
and Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, he shows up.
it's going to be a great movie. But before Blade Runner comes out, we got a little thing. Matt did the Blade Runner experience. Matt, let's check it out.
Everybody's always looking for a good time at Comic-Con. I think I just found it. I'm gonna go ahead. seafood anywhere. Like I said, I promised you guys the best noodles, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go get that right now. Well, you guys, I just got done with the Blade Runner 2049 experience, and I have to say this is one of my favorite things that I did here at San Diego Comic-Con. I got free food, I got alcohol, I even enjoyed eating my noodles at the White Rabbit. It was awesome. Some things that I didn't like getting wet, man. I'm sorry.
Hungry.
Waterfalls just don't belong indoors.
I know,
what I will say is that you should have definitely experienced this. Yeah, it was a 2-hour wait, but definitely worth it. Go ahead, make sure to click subscribe for more Comic-Con news, and of course, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, that hashtag show. Till next time, you guys, I'm MTR, also known as Matt the Rat.
I don't know why that idiot calls himself the Rat, but congratulations, he just had a baby.
Really, his wife had a baby.
His wife had a baby.
Share the story.
She went through the thing.
I don't care about that.
For me, movies that are untouchable are anything by John Hughes.
Oh my gosh.
Well, not necessarily, because they made Spider-Man, and that should have been a John Hughes movie, essentially.
Yeah. Well, no,
True
I mean,
story.
like, Pretty in Pink, Breakfast Club.
That was Power Rangers. Breakfast Club was Power Rangers. Superhero.
It was, yeah. St. Elmo's Fire.
Well,
those are movies that belong in, like, they're very deep and dark, and we don't make teen movies like that anymore.
Funny thing is, I have a kid, and she's now 13.
You have a kid? You just found out, apparently.
And the funny thing about it is, she's addicted to John Hughes films. Like,
Marco edited the video. He's in the chat. I just love that.
Somehow he was able to tap into the teenage world in a way that made it relatable.
I have a question for you about your daughter, actually.
Yeah.
So this is a really random question because sometimes I struggle with it. When she watches like movies from the 80s or 90s, does it feel dated to her where it turns her off from it or no?
Like I said, she loves Pretty in Pink. Breakfast Club is her shiznit. And also, one of her favorite movies, Ferris Bueller. Ferris Bueller. To this day, it is her favorite.
Well, look, we got these cool vials. They were filled with Johnny Walker, Scotch, and whiskey. These were pretty awesome from the experience. Yeah, Matt did that, but we got
Blade
these.
Runner, yeah.
But moving on real quick, Derek Hervey sent in a package, and I want to do a quick unboxing, if we may, of what this package is, because we don't know what he sent us, but thank you so much, Derek Hervey. Let's open it up. Oh, wow, that's a good cut.
You're welcome.
Sides.
You need it?
No, I don't think so.
On the sides.
Oh, hold on, I got it.
Savage. First of all, this is pretty cool. This wrapping paper. It's Power Ranger toys.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow, actually, these are actually really cool.
To Joe.
This is probably supposed to be opening for the Ranger wrap up.
Okay.
But this is a Power Ranger.
This is for Kelly.
Well, we're changing.
Whoa.
This is on Blue
For
Ranger
Kelly.
stuff. I'm taking this. We're
Nope.
we're doing this here.
Daniel, this is for you.
that.
Open the box. What's in the box?
What's in the
A
box?
bit of turbocharged inspiration for the road ahead.
To Daniel.
That's
Oh my God! Oh my! Oh!
These are amazing.
You have no idea how excited I
this
am
is
right
for
now.
you.
Oh my God!
Says
No,
to
this
a
is
beer
Daryl.
connoisseur.
Darn, this is Daryl's.
Oh, thank.
Oh, sorry. I thought it said Daniel.
This was probably supposed to be opened
That's
on a different
for
show,
Daryl.
but it's okay. We're gonna open
Still
it here.
excited right now. I'm about to pop this open.
Oh, there's a
Deck of
card.
cards.
I'm opening the letter.
Here's Pokey.
Should I not read this now?
No, go ahead. Who cares?
There's Pocky. I love Pocky.
Love Akira.
To all three of you, Joe, Kelly, and Daryl, take
Oh, this
one
is
of
for
each
sure for the
as
Ranger
your
show.
special nostalgia reminder
Oh, well,
of the
this is
series
also
that
Daryl.
started it all.
Yeah,
I'm about
it's
to open this.
Why don't
I'm
you
about to
listen
open
to
this.
me?
This is Daryl. I'm sorry.
Oh,
This is
I thought
awesome.
it was Daniel. I'm
Thank you so
sorry.
much, Derek. We'll make sure these get to the right places. I'm actually taking this one.
Oh, wait, there's a letter.
I'll
wanna
take
read
the
it?
wrapper.
Dear hashtag crew, hey cool cats. I'm sending
Frank Ocean now.
you 3 Joe, Kelly, and Daryl this thank you care package, but also every holiday assortment to each one of you. Each item is labeled specifically for each one of you according to knowing you guys as my brothers and sisters in the Geek
pockets are
/ Ranger
Kelly.
fandom / love. Thank you dearly for your acknowledgement to your fans, as well as continuing to do a phenomenal work and moving forward.
That's so amazing.
Please enjoy, and I hope you enjoy to see you guys in person on that long dusty road ahead. Blessings, and Morphin, Derek, Hervey, you're amazing. Thank
That's
you so
awesome.
much.
I was like, the Pocky's totally Kelly.
Yeah. So we're gonna put this aside. I opened this on the wrong show. Sorry, I didn't know. It wasn't really.
You could still
specified.
surprise them, though.
Like, hey guys, I opened everybody's packages, and
That's Frank Ocean, right? That's enough?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
you look like a. You look like
Wait, it'll
something.
still be a surprise to Daryl and
Thank
Kelly.
you, Derek.
Oh,
You're amazing.
Whoa.
This
That's
is
super cool. Don't, it's not for you.
who's it?
Put
Who
it back
is it?
in. Here, hand me all the
Hey,
goodies.
you don't,
That's for
Daryl's in here
Daryl.
right now. He doesn't need to
No,
know.
well, I'm gonna take this, so I'm not putting this back
He
in.
doesn't need to know that Akira.
Give me the stuff
Fine.
so I can put it in the box.
Taking this pokey.
Put it in the back. You can't take Kelly's Pocky.
Oh, why not? Dude, it's the cookies and cream
It's
one.
not for you.
Fine, whatever.
All right. So one other thing that we
I like
love
stuff.
doing on
Thank
this
you.
show, Daniel likes stuff. He's on. What show are you on that you can get stuff sent to? you, though?
Nothing right now. But, well,
Well,
Hashing
Twin
Hangout,
Peaks next week.
Nothing
Twin
right
Peaks,
now.
Hashing Hangout, and coming in February. I'm going to be on something. Something.
Is it February officially? Have we officially? We haven't officially made a
We
decision.
haven't made a decision. Well,
It's either September
It's
or
either September
February.
And I'm thinking February because it's just get people ready.
Well, let's
Get the
try.
people going.
Let me get people going right now with figuring out what you guys like, and what these two are talking about is the dating advice show.
Yeah.
So something
What's
that
it called, Joe?
it's called Quest for Player 2,
He knows the name.
a title that I think is awesome.
Thanks, Eric Bridges.
But the thing that I
Shout
find
out.
most intriguing, and I think we all do as geeks, is that you go to these conventions, you see all these people, and if you're single, how do you handle business? And this is what our call-ins tonight are going to be about. Any relationship advice or questions that you need answered, these two are here to help.
Yeah.
You can reach us at that hashtag show on Skype. I recommend calling in now. Jalen, are you watching? Are you in the room still? I didn't know.
Well, that's why I was at Long Beach
Yeah, I mean,
today.
you-
I was
you
going
can
around
go
with
on-
Oh,
dinner.
let's talk about
You
that.
guys
Yeah.
Long Beach was pretty good, right?
Yeah, we went around asking people to ask their questions and what they wanted.
We got a
to know.
Skype call already. It's Kat. I don't know how to answer this on a. There's no mouse here.
Well, you got to pull it over.
Nope.
Oh, nope, that didn't work.
Where's the mouse?
Oh,
there
there
it
it is. I
is.
got it. Video.
Nah, phone.
Oh, it's gone.
Oh, call back, Kat. We messed
Come
up.
back. We love you. and
We
stuff.
messed up.
Sorry, Kat. You can hit us back. But that's that hashtag show at.
Oh wait,
Wait.
do I click this?
Video or yeah, you can try video.
Hello.
Can you call her?
There we go.
Oh, hey, what's going on?
Did it work?
We can't hear anything.
Hold on.
Oh wait, we're figuring
Hold
out
on,
life
hold on.
right now.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
goodness.
Getting
Where's
calls.
that goddamn pad at? There we go. We have
Oh,
another
yeah.
call coming in, but
have
we don't
another call
hear
coming in, but we
the person
see
that's
you.
on.
We see you.
Is the pad charged up?
Well, shoot.
That's what I'm doing. Sorry, I had ignore.
So Kat, can you hear us? Because we can't hear you,
Oh,
nor can we see you.
Call ended. I didn't
It's
mean
okay.
it.
Try again.
I don't know what to do, guys.
We're having production
Technical difficulties. Oh, someone's calling in.
Get a call.
Answer it.
Dating questions. Oh
Roll
boy.
better.
I feel
Technology.
Like Frank Ocean. I do.
Oh, boy.
What do you
Share screen and sound.
You
Place
don't look
call
like
on
Frank
hold.
Ocean.
Right, well, that's why I look just like him. What are you talking
I don't know.
about?
Robert, can you hear
Could
us?
this be Earth? Could this be light? No, there you go. No.
Robert,
No.
can you hear
A
us?
potato flew around my room.
Can anyone hear us?
I guess we're not taking live calls. I was wrong.
I don't know, guys, but
Oh,
I
no.
know that I am really jealous right now.
Oh no.
Really jealous.
One thing we can hear though is the ringing of the Skype.
Hey,
so if
who
that,
doesn't
if
like
that
ringing
benefits
of
you
Skype?
at
Who
all.
doesn't, right?
I don't know what that is. Call ended. So answer
yeah.
Cat. Let's try
Is
this
that
again.
at 0%?
Hello.
That's great.
Is it working? Can you hear us now?
We can't hear them.
I can't hear you.
That's weird.
Check where the audio is going to.
Oh, that's important.
Or the
Well, you hear it through there.
Yeah.
The mic. Check where the mic. Which one's?
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird.
We're trying. We're trying so hard.
He's the charging.
Robert, we see you. But we've got a call going on.
All right, well, let's stall because we have nothing better to do. Get an iPad. I agree. We had a pad actually, but apparently it
Robert,
wasn't
we
charged
see
up.
you,
So
but we've
we
got a
went with this
call,
janky
so we
computer.
can't answer yet.
Well, yeah, it doesn't always have to be dating questions. It can be relationship questions.
Bro.
Dating in general kind of works out.
Well,
that
let's answer some questions. I can ask you a question. Some
Sure.
questions.
All right.
Ask a
Joe.
question.
Why are you getting nervous?
way. No, I'm not.
Or
gonna do
type it
anything.
in.
All right, Joe.
I don't understand.
I don't know. Well, there's certain questions you ask. I don't know.
What do you mean?
I'll just go ahead. Go ahead. We'll see.
All right, so if you're I'm not asking for myself.
Yeah, of course.
But if you're if you're trying to attract somebody, I've heard this from one of our producers. Why are we only hearing the ringing?
I know.
Yeah, it sounds weird.
It's
But
weird.
You were saying?
One of our producers wants to know if you were to try to attract a sorry if that song's annoying you because it's already annoying me. Like a cosplayer, what's the best way to go about doing that?
Well, first of all, don't call them a cosplayer.
Well, that's what they are. They're not people.
They're human beings.
Well, that's questionable.
But to identify them at the no to
No.
identify them at the con, oh wait,
Kat, can you
don't-
finally
Kat,
hear
can
us?
you hear us?
Yeah.
Ah,
But
there
wait,
it
we're gonna keep hearing this
goes.
though.
Yeah, we'll hang up the con. We'll have to ignore it.
No
Yeah.
problem on the iPad too.
Yeah. All right, cool. So, Kat, what's going on?
That is so annoying.
I know. I'm like, why can someone?
Hold
else
on, Kat. We're gonna try to put this Skype on mute, but as long as we could just. So, Kat, what's going on? Jesus
Robert, stop
Christ, that's
calling.
annoying.
We're getting a lot of calls,
Robert,
guys.
stop calling.
Stop calling for a moment.
Robert.
I'm going to hurt you.
Kat, are you there?
She's there.
Yeah.
All right.
It's coming out my
So, you got a relationship / advice / question. What do you got for us? What do you got for them, I should say, not so much me.
I don't know if I want to admit this right now, but
Hey, well, there's no better time than the present.
Yeah.
I know.
It could be a story concerning your friend, anything.
I mean, we could
Just
tell
share.
some funny stories about ourselves. I've had pretty funny relationship stories.
Yeah.
I mean, not crazy. Well,
I actually got approached about a question concerning relationships.
well, let's hear Kat's first.
So
Right.
I'm like, yeah.
Robert, stop calling.
All right, Kat, what do you got?
Obviously, they're still on the line.
Right.
okay. Honestly,
Oh man,
Oh my God,
hold on. Is that Robert?
It's Robert.
Robert, stop calling, please.
Dad voice.
Yeah, like Robert, stop for just a moment, man. Just a moment.
All right, go ahead,
Trying to
Kat.
speak.
Nope.
I'm to admit this right now because I don't know. I've been holding this in for 3.
Oh man, this is killing me. We got to get this. I'm almost gonna use my phone for this.
Swear to you, I'm like, yo, Kat, call me on Facebook.
Turn that off.
Hold on one second, Kat, while they sort all these issues out.
Can you just tell the dude to stop?
We have been.
just
Robert
he's
is not listening.
I don't think he's watching right now.
Oh yeah, the computer was a good idea for the week, huh? Huh? It wasn't.
It is. Just gotta.
See,
All right.
Let's see if that works.
Kat, what do you got? Sorry.
Sorry.
It's fine. I don't know if I want to admit this because I've had to hold this in for 3 months.
By the way, I like the Mickey ears. I like the Mickey ears. I dig them.
Would you just not?
Hey, I dig the Mickey ears. I like them.
It's fucking rude.
go ahead.
Okay, so I need help.
Okay.
Like, bad.
Okay.
So I have a crush on this guy. I cannot work up the nerve to say I like you.
Been there.
But the problem it's a guy you guys happen to know.
Oh.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
Interesting.
All right, but you can't work up the nerve to say anything to this guy. Is that the case?
Like, do you already talk?
Here and there on Instagram, but that's about it.
Okay.
Instagram.
Okay.
Gotcha.
All right. Okay. Is it a long distance thing?
That's the thing I don't know, because like I said, it's a person you guys know. Mm-hmm. And the funny thing is, I have not talked to him. I have to think. I've not talked to him for a while.
Wow.
Oh,
Somebody we know that she hasn't talked to for a while.
I don't remember the last time I said anything to him.
Interesting.
So what do you want help? Do you want us to help you tell him that you like him, or what are you looking for? Or do you just need to get this out and say, like, there's someone here like that we know that you're interested in, you just had to actually say those words out loud?
You know what? I'm just gonna say it, and you guys can laugh at me. I don't know how I let this happen to myself.
I'm done.
I haven't talked to him since 28th.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Okay, you guys are going to think I'm ridiculously crazy for this, or I'm just one of those people that's like, okay. I don't know if I want to say it.
Well, if you don't feel comfortable, you don't have to.
If you don't feel comfortable, you don't have to.
Yeah, no,
but you can just tell these guys' situation. They can help you out with it.
Yeah.
They know their stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I pretend
Fine,
to.
I'll say it. I hate myself in 5 days for saying this. I have a crush on Daryl.
On who? Daniel?
Oh, Daryl.
Oh, Daryl. Daryl. I thought you said
That's
Andrew.
not bad, actually. Daryl's a cute guy.
Daryl's
Right?
adorable.
Yeah, exactly. You just want to pick him up. Daryl's a cutie. It's not a problem.
You have a crush on Daryl. That's good. So what's?
No, why is that not good? Crushes are healthy.
Yeah.
No, it's not good because I can't say anything to him because I'm really going to say something.
Well, I'm 90% sure he knows now, Kat. So you're okay. You're a-okay there.
No.
He watches the show. I'm not gonna.
But he's busy today, and Daryl likes to watch things live. So he's busy today.
Daryl's
so
watching.
he's
He
not
just
watching. I don't
texted
think
me.
he's
Literally just texted me.
No, he didn't.
Oh hey Daryl. How are you? He just texted me.
Stop it. He's not.
He did text me earlier. Oh, you too?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
you were
he
on the
did.
message.
But still, okay. So, but once again, crushes are indeed healthy.
Absolutely.
There's something that I do encourage. I mean, I think that people, it lets you know that you're alive, that you're interested in someone else besides yourself, which is good.
100%.
So, I mean, crushes are okay. Sometimes crushes are things that kind of push us out to be more social, to actually change who we are. So it's not a bad thing.
Not at all.
So, I mean, hey, congratulations.
Congratulations
for
for putting
having
that
a
out there,
crush.
Kat.
Yeah.
And I gotta commend you on that because
Yeah.
wow, that's
brave.
yeah.
I've never done that.
No,
so I just have to say that.
I've never been able to announce.
I'm like, oh,
I've
I've had a crush on a guy for like 2 years, and I've never said anything. So like,
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I am the kind of person that will.
so we will say something.
I
I don't
say
say
something.
things. I sit in my corner, and I'm just like, hi.
See. Yeah, that makes sense.
He's at work. Like, you know,
He's at work. You won't know. It's okay.
it's fine.
No, but congrats for admitting it, and at least.
Well, what's your
letting
advice
that
for her
fly.
going forward?
Well, it depends. I'm not a big fan of long distance stuff because I feel that long distance can kind of be tough. If it started as a long distance thing, it can be tough.
Absolutely.
If it developed into like, okay, you guys were in the same area, you're talking, you're dating or something, and then it becomes long distance, then, you know, it's like, okay, now they've got to know you, they've got a connection, and they're in
Daryl's
for it.
on here, by the way.
Oh, boy.
So you said Daryl doesn't watch, right? Thanks, Jezzer.
Wow. And that's the thing.
God.
And that's the thing. Hey, what's up, Daryl? How you doing, man?
And this
Ah,
is
cool.
something that-
Oh, nothing. We're just chit chatting. We're just talking. Yo, give me some dating advice. So anyway, like we said about crushes.
Yes.
I think they're good.
100%.
But trying to pursue a crush sometimes can be tough, especially if there happens to be a long distance kind of thing involved.
Kat, don't
Because
look so nervous.
it's
You're
just like,
you're
what do you-
fine.
Yeah, you're fine. Don't freak out. You're fine. So it's like, well, what do you
I'm
do?
not fine when Blackwing says he's in the chat room, and he just said what?
Oh, hey, no, we're talking about
We're talking about
I have a feeling Jezzer's behind all this.
We're talking about life and crushes and how they're healthy and they can
Exactly.
help you. It just depends on what you in the end want out of it. Sometimes a crush is just fun to have.
Yeah.
And then other times you want maybe more out of that crush. You just have to decide what that actually is that you want.
I will say though, there was a girl that I knew that had just a crush that, or maybe it might have been a guy as well. I noticed the same thing, but they had just a crush, but that's all it was.
Mm-hmm.
But then when those feelings weren't reciprocated, they kind of like they didn't go over the edge, but they took it more to heart than normally you would with just a crush. Now, the questions I have for her, for you guys, is that what's your advice for her? But then also, what do you guys think how you should respond to crushes just in general, especially long distance ones?
Well, like are you saying if someone has a crush on me and it's long distance?
Yeah, and somebody that you don't know like super well.
It honestly depends. For me, long distance, I would probably not pursue something long distance because I don't get to actually really know who that person is.
Yeah.
Crushes in life, sometimes you put yourself out there and nothing happens and you either get crushed or you don't. I'm still friends with someone that I put myself out there for. It was totally fine. It sucked, but it was fine. I've also made choices in life to make a decision to keep them around as a friend or risk it.
Because Sarah, just to preface this, Sarah doesn't believe in the friend zone.
I don't believe in the friend zone.
Daniel, do you believe in the friend zone?
I believe in having friends.
There is.
We can't get it. You have to leave soon to get your daughter. We can't
Yeah,
even get into this discussion.
I feel there is such a thing as the friend zone, but it depends.
It's not. It's a thing made up by people who can't handle rejection.
No. See, there you go. There are the majority of people that say they're in the friend zone. These are the people that we're talking about. Just as you said. Say it again.
The friend zone is created by people who cannot handle rejection. You are someone's friend, or you are not.
Now,
which is still a zone.
No. See, but the thing is, you've created this friend zone.
That's still a zone.
Joe, you're my friend. I don't put you in the friend zone.
Here's my thing though, is that you can say 20 yard lines to the goal line is 20 yard lines to the goal line, but that's still considered the red zone. It's still a zone.
No, it is still a zone. Fine.
That is a term for a football game.
No, but that's an actual zone. It's the definition.
It's an area.
The definition of zone is an area.
But that's not what I don't put friends in areas.
I do. I mean, I have work friends. I have like different. I have like different kinds of friends.
You've grouped different groups of types of friends.
Or in other words, I have zones of friends.
Sure.
Still, nonetheless, but when you
semantics.
when you do take a moment to break it down, there are the people that do tend to string someone along, and it can be male or it can be female.
Breadcrumbing, it's the worst.
There you go. When you begin to do breadcrumbing and everything like that, but you're never going to actually connect with that person, and you're like, oh, but we're
give the girl some advice. She's stressing out over here.
I know, don't stress.
That is.
She just took off her Mickey Mouse ears.
Honestly, okay, so you have a crush, like we said, it's healthy, it's good. It doesn't mean that the world's going to end because you admitted that you have a crush. But like I'm saying, and I don't suggest someone pursue a long distance anything unless it's just a long distance friendship. And the reason I say that is because you won't be able to spend the time with the person that you really should as far as in a relationship and build. So it's just healthy to say, okay, I admire you from afar and this is a crush. It's okay.
And if messages from that person make you feel good for the day, that's what it can. That's what it can be. And if that's all that is, that's completely fine.
Kat, what do you think? What's on your mind?
Honestly, I think I now know why I gave up on dating a long time ago.
What do you mean?
Because I cannot believe I'm going to say this, and if I cry, I'm sorry in advance.
Oh man, what is going on right now?
I have this thing where it's like, I just can't get a guy to like me, and
But Kat, wait, you had Jalen last week that confessed his love for you.
Joe, you honestly don't get it.
I'm not on the dating show either.
Thank you. No, you're right. Joe doesn't get it at moments, and that's the thing. Sometimes he does.
I always get it.
No.
Dino.
What?
Nobody gets it. I'm not normal. Okay, I'm a girl who, at age 5, thought I'm going to be able to run the world. My dream got crushed at the end of March because of that. And it's all thanks to something that I couldn't control. Because you know what? I now have to live my life with an autoimmune disease I can't get rid of. I can't can't deal with my life being like that. And I understand now, 13 years later from that, I can't just rely on somebody. I can't even.
This is what I'll say.
I don't know why I stress.
No, and this is what I'll say, because having an autoimmune disease. Now,
What is that?
This is, well, it can be as far as...
Lyme?
No.
Or what am I thinking of? I'm
No,
thinking of
Lyme
something
is-
else.
Lyme is like, sometimes it can be sickle cell. There are a few
There's
that
a
are
different-
level,
yeah.
You know
There
who
are a few
else
different ones.
does also though? You might not know her. Not you, Sarah, but Sarah, our writer, too.
Yeah, she does.
Also does. But the thing is, you can't survive, and I have to tell you one thing. Being from me, just having another friend. Actually, she's on my Instagram a lot. Well, Chris is her name. Don't let your disease define you. You define what you are, who you are. Nonetheless, yes, it is there, and sometimes, yeah, it's gonna hurt because you have to work harder in some ways. But there is a thing
we
that
need more of
everyone
this.
has that makes them have to work harder for whatever they are. Sometimes it can be you're overweight or you're underweight. Sometimes it can be you're tall, you're short, you're fat. It can be anything. Sometimes, getting into it, I hate doing that, but sometimes it can be race. It can be many things that are gonna put pitfalls in your way. But the thing is, you're able to stand up and continue going. Like, the thing is, life doesn't get easier, you get stronger. And that's the thing. You have to understand that. Don't let a disease, don't let anything define you. You are you. You define you. You set the rules, and you tell the world what happens from then on.
And you're an awesome person. We've all seen your personality. You have a lot of friends here.
Exactly.
I don't think you should necessarily listen. These guys, sometimes you may be reading more into things than they're actually there, and you may think that because of the situations you have to deal with. But I almost guarantee you that that's not necessarily the case at all. I mean, you got people in this chat, if you're looking right now, like Jalen, Blackwing, all these guys are here. By the way, Robert, don't be sorry for calling us. It was just we were trying to work out some technical things. You're good. But just know here that even Anna, like all these people here, like they support you and people support you. So you don't have to worry about that. You're an awesome person. Everything that we've known about you, you know, you got a lot going for you, so don't worry about that. And trust me on this, and this goes to anybody out there. I'm not on your guys' show, but I can say this pretty confidently, that if right now, if things don't work out with somebody you think they're not going to, it's probably for the best. Because when you rush into things, and not only that, but when you think things of somebody and they don't live up to your expectation, that's even worse.
Yeah, trust me, because you can make the mistake of jumping into something that you're thinking is great only because you're really focused on the person, but you're not focused. Well, you're focused on your idea of the person, but not actually the person. I always say this to people: a relationship is what happens after the salad days. A relationship is where you learn a person that has changed. Because when you're in a relationship, trust me, you change.
100%.
And when you do change, that's the thing, that's when you are being you at your most. Because when people first start meeting and they first start dating, they put on a face. There's many faces people put on, you know? And you're putting on that face and you're looking great.
Kat,
But
raise
when
your
you get
chin up.
comfortable,
Be
when you
proud
get
of
comfortable,
yourself.
You take off, it's different. Kat, honestly, truthfully, I'm going to say this directly to you, though. You are like the number one chased girl on this. You know, there have been guys that are always like, hey, how's Kat doing? Hey, what's Kat doing? Hey, how's Kat doing? So, honestly, Kat, take a moment and take it in. Take it in and feel good about yourself, because there are dudes out here all on the chat that are like, hey, how's Kat? What's going on with Kat? I'm interested in Kat.
Well, I want to address something that you said, because I just don't like that you said it this way. You said, I can't get anyone to like me. It's not about making someone like you.
Daniel has to leave. We
love you.
He's out for the night.
Deuces. It's about liking yourself, loving yourself, and accepting yourself and who you are as a person, and not caring what all these other people think, and being strong in who you are, on top of everything else that Daniel just said. And once you're there, once you figure that out, the rest will fall into place, but you have to do that first. Don't worry about trying to make other people like you. They're either going to like you or you're not, and you have zero control over that.
And guess what, Kat? And if they don't, fuck them.
Exactly.
They're not people that you want to be around anyways. I'll
Yeah.
be honest with you. Because I'm me. And there's a lot of people that don't.
We tolerate this guy.
There's a lot of people that don't like me, but I'm the same guy that's like, you know what? Fuck them. Like, that, whatever. Who cares? Like, there's enough people that like me. I'm all right with that.
Yeah.
Keep your chin up, and you're an attractive girl, and you have a good personality, so you don't have to worry about much. I think you're solid.
And I think you have Harry Styles on the back.
I met Harry Styles
and I love it
on the Dunkirk stuff. But Kat, any last things you want to say to us? Are you thinking?
Were you listening? Did you zone out? I see you reading.
Oh yeah, I was, but I was deep in thought.
Okay.
Because I found this.
What is that?
A picture I forgot I had of myself from like 6 years ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, I thought I had this, and I was like, what was that time in my life where I couldn't even talk to anyone about anything because all my friends did not know I was a nerd back then. I didn't even know I could call myself a nerd until like 3 months ago.
Yeah, now it's a cool thing to do, trust me,
Yeah.
because
We're the cool kids now. We run the world.
our generation paved the way. Our generation paved the way for it, and Daniel too, paved the way for nerds. So it's cool to be a nerd. You're solid there. But Kat, thank you so much for calling in. Will we talk to you next week? Are you going to be in Disney World?
No, I'm not leaving till the 16th, so next week, so next Saturday, and then like the whole week after. You're
going to Disney World.
Disney World. You got to send us some video, man. I love that place.
That's my home. I'm from
Oh
Orlando.
yeah, she's from Orlando. I don't know how you dealt with that heat there, 'cause it's been pretty hot
like
here.
death.
And
Yeah.
but Kat, thank you so much for calling in.
Thank
I
you
hope
for calling.
things get more clear, and I hope that listen, there's guys out there that would love to what's the word I'm looking for? Not be with you, but like
Hang out with
you.
To get to know you.
So you have a ton of options, so don't worry about it. Trust me.
True.
We're so focused on the end result. Don't forget to enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Oh, and I do. If you can't really tell, like, I can change my phone background.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
for-
That's awesome.
Get excited. Get excited. I'm happy for you, Kat. Thank you for calling in, and we'll talk to you next week. All right. Take care.
Bye.
We are taking your next phone call. I'm not really going to give the advice. She is.
You got to chime in. I can't do this alone.
Well, Daniel's not here. That big-headed slut. Just kidding. I love Daniel. He's not here though. He had to take off. He had
man, he's so eloquent.
He had some personal business to take care of. His daughter is awaiting his arrival, and he's being a good dad. But guess what?
That's true.
You got this guy here, and
Yeah.
this guy's going to tell you to make all the right moves. Not like some jabroni over here that made Daryl jump on the chat for no reason at all. This idiot Jezer.
Rude.
Yeah. But call in if you want some
Robert,
advice.
if you want to call now, feel free to call.
Robert, you can give us a call. You know what? Jalen, why don't you give us a call? You too, Blackwing.
Blackwing.
But let's talk about some like relationship things. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
You were at Long Beach Comic Con today.
Correct.
Do you think that there was one question that you heard more than any other question that you kind of wanted to?
Yeah, and like really in like a theme wise, it was asked in like a handful of different ways, but overall it was just the initial of how do you approach a person? How do you get in the game, for lack of a better term. And that can be difficult because I know I've been out with my girlfriends and some person has said hello to me and I'm like,
No, yeah, really.
that's happened. And then other times I'm just like, hi, and I feel like having a conversation. It really depends so much on the other person's mood or where they're at. So saying hello can be really tough and really difficult. And even if you say things like, say you're with a group of friends and you're chatting about something and I hear something that I'm like, oh, I can add in. You welcome back.
Look who's back. Rob.
Um,
No, I'm just kidding. I wish Rob.
I know, he gets back soon.
Woo!
Are you back?
Yeah, she's getting a ride with someone actually. She was like,
Whoa.
I was
Hold
watching.
on.
You guys are doing great. You should come.
It's
Let me,
not
hold on
here.
a second.
Oh my! It's plastic. It's not going to help.
It doesn't help. We're getting calls here. Here we go. We're
Sorry.
gonna answer that or no?
He's
we're
trying
gonna
to do it
disconnect
here.
that. We were just talking about what were we talking about?
Oh,
watching
the
some of it.
overall, the main theme that from Long Beach Comic Con today was people just like, how do I get in the game? How do I even say hello?
Ooh.
Seemed to be the biggest overarching theme of question that we got.
Jeez.
And I was saying, it honestly saying hello is difficult because it can be completely depend on the person's mood. And I give the example of I've been out at like a bar or somewhere with my girlfriends or just my friends, and someone will like come up and try and talk to me, and I'm like, why are you talking to me? And then other times I'll be like, oh yeah, and I'll completely
We got a phone
engage.
call. Who is
It
it?
just depends.
Can we answer it?
The high it's important. It does depend.
Robert,
Yeah.
you have a relationship question for us. What do you got for us, my friend?
Hey, I was in elementary, right? So, me and this girl and this guy were fighting, right?
You, a girl, and a guy were fighting. Triple threat match. Got it?
Not a girl.
Oh, sorry, Blackwing. We've got a call right now, but we'll get to
Can
you
we
next.
change? Can we change the pad out with the computer?
Not yet.
No.
So okay, you
Continue.
people were fighting, and then what happened?
And then we got into a fight, this guy and me. And then he dunked when I first threw the blow, and it hit my girlfriend at the time. So I got detention for a week.
Because you accidentally hit your girlfriend in this fight?
And everything, told me it's okay. I kept on apologizing and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the last call, don't worry, everything's all right. You got everyone in the chat room.
Wait, Robert. Let me get this right.
Go ahead.
You had a girl, and there was another guy. The guy dunked your punch. You hit the girl. So it was like, all right, let's demonstrate. You demonstrated. Pretend I'm the guy.
And I'm like, stop it. Ooh.
Is that how it happened?
Was that it?
Yeah. So like the girl was behind
Man, it's like the Three Stooges.
behind him, and then the guy was dunked, and I couldn't stop the throw. So that stopped my girlfriend, and I got sent to the principal's office. We all talked it over, and then she said, "Don't forget about it." It's like, okay. It's like she still wanted to go out with me and have a baby and everything.
And had a baby? What? You're in elementary school, bro.
I'm not in elementary.
But you were in elementary when you said that you were in elementary and this happened.
We got our first kid when we were 13.
Wait,
Whoa.
Wait, what?
wait.
Wow.
13.
Hold on. Time out. Kiss or kid?
It's a girl.
Oh, you have a child.
Oh, so you did say kid. 13.
Yeah. Yes.
You had your first child at 13?
Yes.
Wow. Very active. Man. That's a lot.
Well, I'm not
That's
on
a
a
lot.
dating show, so you guys can handle
Yeah,
this one.
yeah. I'm just saying that's a lot, man. Whew. Are you guys still?
Are you for the calling?
Are you guys still
No,
together?
you're good. So
I didn't actually. I wasn't watching your video, so I just turned back and I watched it, and I noticed I was talking too much.
Oh, it's
no, you're okay.
You're okay.
Robert, so what's the question you have for these two?
So back in Power Rangers, I just have to bring up the season for today. It was kind of more blowing because.
Wait, time out. Are you talking about Power Rangers right now?
Yeah.
Yep, I can't talk about that because I haven't seen it yet. I wasn't on that show.
Oh yeah. Don't spoil it for Joe.
Okay. So.
If you have a relationship question, we will take that, but I can't talk about Power Rangers because I haven't seen it yet.
All the guys out there who's looking for a girl, don't worry, you'll find one inside and out. Only care for them what's in the inside, not the out.
All right, well, thank you. That's great
Perfect.
advice, Robert.
That's
Great advice,
perfect.
man.
It was great talking to you. Thank you so much for sharing, Robert.
Okay.
All right.
Sweet.
Take
All
care.
right, man.
So what I surmised from that
Yeah. Well.
was that Robert was a good guy, and
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
he he threw a punch for a girl that he cared about, but the other guy was just too quick. His reflexes.
Yeah, pretty much.
He ducked. Nothing gets over that guy's head.
Nothing gets over that guy's
It's like
head.
Drax.
Except for the fist.
Oh,
All right, we got Blackwing 2040. Thank you, Blackwing.
Go. I clicked it. Why you no clicky? There we go.
Blackwing, how you doing, my friend?
What's up? What's up?
You son of a bitch. Are you still at the resorts in Jamaica?
Yes.
Blackwing.
Can you guys hear me?
Barely, yeah. How you doing, buddy?
Barely? Oh my gosh. I'm probably gonna have some moves.
No.
No. Stay where you are. Stay right where you are. How are you?
Very well.
Oh, I'm good? I'm good? Okay, good. Alright, my gosh. First of all, sorry about last week. The Wi-Fi down there in the Jamaica resort, it was terrible.
Hey, but you were in Jamaica. That doesn't even matter.
Speaking of Jamaica, where's Anna?
That's
You
what
guys
I
gonna be
asked.
calling
I
Anna?
asked, did you hit up Anna? Anna was there. It was like, yo, what are you doing? Let's hang out. Woo,
I don't think she
Jamaica.
said that. I don't think she said that.
I said he should have hit
okay.
her up. No, I don't think Anna said that at all. I don't know.
Anna's awesome, though. I want her to call in for this.
Yeah.
But let me ask you something, Jonathan. What advice?
Hey,
Am I pulling the curtain
yeah,
back?
whoa.
Is that like me revealing the DJ's real name is Clarence?
Whoa!
Pulling the curtain back a little bit?
Don't start calling people by the government.
Or is Jesser told me that Rel's real name?
Don't. Hey,
Wait,
don't
what?
start revealing people's government, man. That's not okay.
Anyway, Black is. I'm not gonna call. No, whatever.
Wait, you didn't hear it? Oh my gosh!
Let's.
I heard Clarence.
There you go.
Yeah, that's his real name.
That's DJ's room.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so Blackwing, what's going on?
What's going on in the dating life of Blackwing? Let's just say nothing, because there's no lady in my life, and I'm not really much of a woman hunter or whatever. But here's one thing I can say though about like when it comes to me and girls. When I try to, when I meet a girl, I don't. Yes, the nerves start to kick in, but I don't always, go head in first and just rush into things. I like to take things a little bit slow and everything. And we just build up.
Smooth operator.
But
Yeah,
all I can say is
yeah.
I never really had a girlfriend in my life.
You've never had a girlfriend in your life?
Never, and I'm not complaining.
No, that's fine. I'm just surprised.
okay.
I've seen Jalen. Like he's a good-looking
Yeah,
dude.
actually, yeah, man. You're
Not Jalen. I'm sorry. I've seen
Blackwing.
Blackwing. You're a good-looking dude.
you're good looking at me. It's fine.
Thank you very much. But yeah, for me, I could say with my dream girl. With my dream girl, she has to be like
Stacey Dash.
It doesn't matter.
She's
It
50.
doesn't matter what
She's
skin
so hot.
tone she is. It doesn't matter what race she is. As long as
Beyonce.
she treats me with respect, I treat her with the same respect. If she's into the same geek things as I am into, we're a perfect match.
Can I stop you there for a second and my opinion on that?
Okay.
I actually don't think you need to have the same kind of fandoms, to be honest with you. I actually think you learn more from people when you don't actually have the same fandoms, because I can say this, and I'm on great terms with most of my ex-girlfriends, but the one that I probably learned from the most was the one that we didn't have the same fandoms. Like, she was into her stuff, I was into my stuff, but where it came together so naturally was that we were able to get each other's back and support each other with the stuff that we were into. That I may have not been. I'm not a huge guy into fashion so much, but she was into that stuff. Or she's really into soccer. I mean, I got into it after the fact, but like, it's some of those things that I think kind of help you realize a person, what they're really about. If you can tolerate that, you can tolerate anything, I think.
I got you. I totally understand that. And first of all, I like to say though, and I'll be okay to admit this. When I first watched The Flashpoint, I kind of had a bit of a crush on Sarah.
Oh, thank
That's
you.
fine. Everyone kind of has a crush on Sarah the first time. I had a crush on Sarah the first time I met her. It's fine. It does.
We did talk about this.
We talked about this on air. Yeah, I had a crush on Sarah the first time I met her.
Well, I mean, because we were. I mean, last week's
I know I
last
have no chance. I'm good.
whole episode was. Did you have a crush on any cast members that you're with?
Yeah.
And he did say you.
Yeah.
Did you?
First time I was like, who's that? That's interesting. But then after that, your girl. But Sarah is that person. It's true. Sarah is that person, man.
Thank you.
Because I always said like Sarah was like the spitting image of MJ because she has like the perfect red hair.
Take it.
That's the perfect. The only thing I need to hear her say is I need her to say, "Face it, Tiger, you just hit the
jackpot." Yes.
Yeah, you got a super chat for that, my friend.
Yeah, sorry.
But other than that, do you
Maybe
have any?
for your birthday.
Let me ask you.
That would be the best birthday present ever.
When's your birthday?
February 22nd. That's my birthday.
Okay, we got time.
Okay, maybe.
Remind me. I'm very forgetful.
So what's your question exactly, Mr. Wing?
Okay, I guess it can come to meeting girls at conventions. When it comes to meeting a new face at a convention, you see like a pretty girl, you like her cosplay, but you never really seen her out of costume.
Right.
How do you approach that kind of situation?
Well, speaking from a guy that's dated a couple cosplayers, I'm not going to answer that.
Well,
question.
you want to know how to approach seeing someone outside of their cosplay, or what are you asking?
Like, because, when you meet them, it could be just for that one day you see them, and then after that, they're gone.
Right.
So, how do you make most of it on that day?
Okay. So, pretty much he's asking, like, how do you make the big impression that sticks?
On a cosplay girl.
On a cosplay. Cosplay girl is still, once again, I mean, if you're going to say it, take away the cosplay and say it's still a girl. And that's the thing. You have to understand that.
But I don't think the one thing that I don't think you're factoring in though is that they approach so much.
They do.
Exactly.
And Jezzer and I chatted today with some cosplay girls, and a lot of them, we gave them the option of asking a question or giving some sort of advice. And it was like, if you have a dating question, or like, I'm like, you guys are very pretty girls. Like, people, like you said, approach you. I'm like, how does someone not creep you out, basically? Like, how does someone not do that? And one of the girls, she just said, be you. Don't be overly cocky, because there's nothing less attractive. And she's like, then that's basically the gist of it. She's like, just be who you are, be friendly, and don't be aggressive.
Can I give him my advice?
Yeah.
My advice? What do you say that?
I'm just giving you from the horse's mouth.
My advice, no, I get it, but my advice is this: Blackwing. This is coming from a guy that's dated 2 cosplayers that are decently known. Don't do it. It's the biggest mistake you're ever gonna make in your life. And I'll tell you the honest to God truth, straight up, honestly. Like, I love people that are in cosplay. I love people that do this for they want to do this, for whatever they're going to do it for. But you also have to realize that they're getting a lot of attention. And of course, the answer that Sarah got is going to be the political answer that they're going to give you. But the truth of the matter is this, is that
all of them, that's their answer, and that's the political answer?
I would say that the most of them are going to say, hey, just be yourself, do this, don't have it. Yeah, sure, that's what you're going to want to say, but let's be real about it. Listen, let's try an experiment. Anybody that's going to go out there and try to talk to these like cosplayers that think they're above, they're going to be really nice to you and give you the time of day, but are they going to go out on a date with you? Probably not, and I'll tell you why. It's because they're not looking at it like that. When they're in a convention, their mindset's different.
That's very true.
It's how do I get people to take more photos of me? How do I get attention? How do I get this? Because let's be honest, that's what they're wearing a costume to entice that. Right. So understand that. Like, if you're gonna meet a cosplay, like I met one of the cosplayers I'm talking about. I actually met her when she wasn't cosplaying. I met her at a party, and I actually didn't know she was a cosplayer. She's I'm not gonna give her name out, but she's a fairly decently known cosplayer. Right. But when I met her at this party, like, things were great. But until you get to the other side of the actual cosplay side of it, it's a completely different beast. So you have to understand, if you're going to pursue that, then especially in this geek world that we all kind of preside in, that you have to realize that that's a different world. And they have a different mindset. It's the same thing as, I'll be honest with you, pulling the curtain back just a little bit, is that we do this hashtag show thing. Like, we're all super cool, but like, the thing is, like, it does get to a limit. Like, there is limits for people, and I think that they at least were honest enough to realize that. We understand that. We understand that there's a line.
Also, with cosplayers, a lot of the time, are you attracted to the fantasy? Because that's not actually who they are.
I was going to say,
exactly.
With the exception of like 1 or 2 of them, because they're basically walking caricatures of human beings.
That's the big question. you always want to ask yourself, am I fetishizing this person? Because if that's what you're doing, it's not going to work out well. And I don't care how you approach them. It's not going to happen. They'll know it. Because it's happened to them so many times.
Right.
If you're only into me because of the way I'm dressing for this cosplay, you're not into me. So the thing is, why should I even worry about trying to connect with you? But if you actually dig that person, which it's hard to do because you know what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to get to know that person.
And by the way, my statement can't be true for all cosplayers, but it's true for the ones, I don't want to say, it's true for the ones that I've run into, and it's true for listen, LA, maybe it's a different story because we have so many conventions going on and you see a lot of cosplayers come from LA. But I think that this is a city. I'm not going to relegate it to that. You know what? I'm just going to talk about my personal experiences. This is what I've dealt with, and this is what I think.
Yeah.
And that, it's just me. You do what you want to do, but this is just my advice to you.
My suggestion, honestly, I mean, hey, if you just want an answer, it's like, okay, let me see what I can do. One, stand out. Two, be the one person that's going to think outside the box. Have the conversation. Ask them about how they actually put the cosplay together and hear things that are interesting because you'll see how enthused they are by sharing, like, oh,
to talk about themselves.
Yeah, well, but not only themselves,
Only
but their
because
hard
they put
work.
in a lot of work into it. That's what I mean.
Their
I'm not
hard
being,
work.
I'm not
And
being
then when you get into it and you're able to actually, you know, also talk back to them. Oh, dude, that's weird because I heard this before. I've heard that. Like, oh, I heard working with this particular foam is tough. How did you master that? You know, you're actually talking to them. They're like, dude, he's really interested in talking to me as a person, not as, oh, the actress that I am while I'm here. You know, and that's going to be something that's like, oh, wow, that's interesting to me. And then you have to drop the bomb and ask, well, you know what? Are you here at the con tomorrow? Are you going to be cosplaying? Hopefully the answer is no. Like, I'm not cosplaying, but yeah, I'm going to be here. Because they always want one day where they're at a con without dressing up. And when they say, yeah, you know, yeah, I'm going to be here, but I'm not going to be cosplaying, I'm going to be friends, blah, blah, yada, yada, then you can ask, would you like to, you know, hang out, get a coffee, get blah, blah, blah. You know, you have to ask for that moment.
Go through this experience together.
Exactly. Would you like to get a coffee or blah, blah, or hey, would you like to walk the con floor with me? We can hang out, check out some things. Something like that where it's like, it's not too intrusive. It's not, oh, hey, we're going on a date. It's, we're going to socialize here at the con. Would you like to at least just see how that works out? It's something that's, it's nice. It's not too harsh. It's not too heavy. I feel it's a great way to try at least to break the ice in a good way.
But I also think the harder question is that if you do date a cosplayer is that make sure that you can handle the attention they're going to get. Because that's a whole nother issue altogether.
Oh, trust me, there's going to be nothing but levels of jealousy unless you are secure enough in yourself to be with a woman that is getting nothing but attention. You have to know that.
But Blackwing, obviously, from your speech and your talk, I feel that you have a good grasp on the English language, so you'll be able to do as much as you can with what you're given. What that means, I'm not sure, but you're gonna. Yeah, it's exactly, you know what I'm saying. He knows what I'm saying.
So many nerd stunts besides singing a version of Hello Nurse to a Girl. There are so many things that I can do, like I can pull from my bag of goodies.
Well, let me just tell you, magic shouldn't be one of them.
Lies. No. Girls love magic. Bitches love magic. I'm telling
you. Not the ones.
I don't know. I think
I'm not a cosplay girl, so maybe it's different.
I scared the magician away.
Amazing.
The magician was like, oh, and then Migdalia was like, oh, where would I get to learn all these tricks? And I was like, I know where. He's like, well, no, I know the best school. I was like, I know the best school. He's like, well, where's the best school? And I said, Hogwarts. And he got pissed.
He got pissed and walked out.
He got pissed and just left. Anyway, thank you so much.
For my bag of goodies, of course, I know you guys want to hear another voiceover line from me before I go. Plus, since you guys were talking about the Joker, I'm doing another Mark Hamill Joker line from, I think, what was the movie? Batman Beyond Return of the Joker.
All right.
So, and Sarah, you never heard my voiceover, so you're going to love this, so fasten your seatbelts.
I'm ready.
Fasten your seatbelt, though.
I love Joe.
I'll begin on how I peeled back the layers of the boy's mind. Though he certainly tried to fight it at first, you would have been proud to see him so strong. But all too soon the serums and the shocks took their toll, and the dear lad began to share such secrets with me, secrets that are mine alone to know. Bruce, it's true, Batsy. I know everything. And kind of like the kid who peeks at his Christmas presents, I must admit, sadly anticlimactic.
Behind all the sturm and batarangs was just a little boy in a playsuit crying for mommy and daddy. It must be funny if you weren't so pathetic. Oh, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.
Not bad.
That's awesome.
Not bad, right? That's
Good
not
job.
bad.
Good job.
Bravo.
That's very
Thank you
cool.
so
Blackwing.
much. Go ahead.
Oh,
That's
I was
super
gonna say,
cool.
Thank you, Blackwing. It was great talking to you. We love chopping it up with you, man. Enjoy the cons over there, and make sure that you buy as much stuff as possible. And if you're gonna,
I'll be seeing Joe and Daryl next month, very soon, of course.
oh yeah, it's gonna be dope. And
Oh, New York.
yeah, and if you're
what the
gonna
hell
take
next
my
month?
advice, make sure you tinker it according to what's best for you. You don't want to just take. You never want to just take somebody's advice directly head on. That's my advice.
I always say just take advice head on. But that's going to do it. Blackwing, thank you so much for calling.
Thank
Do we have
you.
any more phone calls? How about Anna? Why don't you give us a call? Or what about Jalen? Or Monster X5? Why don't you guys give us a call?
Yeah, no
We're
calls from Jezzer though.
answering your relationship advice.
Right.
Jezzer's having his own relationship to show advice right over here on the thing, man.
Come on, bro. Call. Come on, bro. Call.
You guys share.
Sounds-
You guys share a bunk bed? Like,
You guys share a bunk bed? Is that what he sounds?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Silly.
give us your phone calls. We are taking your relationship advice. Now, Daniel, we asked Sarah earlier, like, what was the most common question she got at the convention?
Oh, yeah.
What is the most, because you did Long
I did,
Beach. Last week you did, I think it was Japan World Heroes.
Yeah.
What was the most common question, or at least the most, not outlandish, but the most, like,
Compatibility.
Yeah.
Compatibility was the subject. It was
Yeah.
the theme of the calls. I mean, what the calls, the questions were just like, well, I'm type A. She's type
hey,
B.
well, you can hold that. Calling from Kingston, Jamaica, we have it in this corner, Anna Mills. Anna Miles, right?
Miles.
How you doing, Miles? How you doing, Anna?
I'm good.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. So, what do you
silly.
got for these guys?
Just a little advice, you know.
Okay.
I haven't been in a relationship. I may have
Ever?
had a few first.
Or just not right now?
Just right, not right now.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, all right, cool. So, do you got maybe a question concerning maybe friends that are experiencing blah 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 or something?
I just have a little advice.
Okay.
Maybe just for persons like me who are sort of introverted. You know, you're thinking about, hey, who can I be in a relationship with? You know.
Yeah.
I'm sort of the person who's sort of observing everything and whether or not who really likes me, you know. Am I cute? I don't really. Do I really attract anybody? I just put on this whole Cinderella complex, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where yes, I dress good at certain points, but when it comes to like downtime, I don't really. I'm sort of in tomboy mode.
Hey,
Yeah, that's wrong with that.
and there's nothing wrong with that. Exactly. Like, be you. If somebody's going to like you, they're going to like you for you.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, putting on, like I said, putting on that mask and everything like that, someone doesn't get the chance to really know you. And if they don't get to know you, when you actually become you, it can be a horrible thing. It can, in relationships, it happens a lot. So, I mean, being you is the best thing to be.
Except when you're me, and then everybody tells you to be somebody else. 'cause
Yeah,
I'm such an
that's
asshole.
true.
Just
That's
kidding.
true.
Yeah. So I do have a crush, but I just don't want to get in trouble.
Trouble? What do you mean
Oh.
trouble?
Ooh.
I don't know. You know, I think it's a fear of rejection. You know,
Absolutely.
you confront the person, you don't know whether they have somebody else, so you don't want to get too involved. So I'm sort of like, you know,
Do you have a friend who could investigate?
no.
Interesting.
Sometimes I'm normally the one, you know, who makes the first move, but
Oh, so you're
I'm just
That's interesting because I actually don't hear that from a lot of girls that they're the ones that make the first move. So
I am not.
Yeah, no, that's really interesting because a lot of girls, at least that I know, don't make the first move. And then when you're like, oh, why took you so long? It's like, oh, fucking, you know what I mean? You're an idiot. That's what I say. I like that. I don't say that exactly, but I think that in my head.
Yeah, sure. Only in his head.
And sometimes when I meet with guys in, WhatsApp or whatnot, I just always get a question where have you ever had sex? And it's like crazy. Mm-hmm. I say no. that's too fast.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Where what happened to where you were trying to get to know me and just take it slow. But I don't know what to say. So that's why I hold off a little bit on dating.
Yeah.
Well, I would say honestly, yeah, there are a lot of guys that, because like you said, you mentioned WhatsApp and things like that, where if they can talk to you in some way, still keep their anonymity, if they can be anonymous in a way because they're not there in front of you, they're really forward. They'll ask those questions. Hey, have you had sex? And that's the next thing they want to go to. But it also happens when you're talking to guys, in person. They'll go on a first date, and then after that, they're like, so they just jump to the subject of sex. But the thing is, being a person, you're able to, like you said, okay, that's too fast. That's not what I want. And it's good that you're able to take that stand because
say that.
Because unfortunately, some people don't take that stand, but they feel that way, and then later, it's the worst decision you ever have. So, I mean, I commend you for being able to stand up and say, that's too fast and that's not what I'm looking for. Because nothing's better when you're dating or when you're looking to date or anything like that than being a person that knows exactly what they want and will stick to their guns. This way, you're not settling for anything. So, I mean, continue to do that way. I think if you do that, you're going to be fine. It's my opinion.
Thanks.
I agree.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Oh, Jalen has a question.
Well, Anna, thank you so much for sharing with us. Listen, I think that whenever it jumps to sex, I don't think it depends on. Listen, I'm not going to condone anything here. I'm not going to say anything's the bad way to do things, but I will say that it depends on what you're looking for. Then you can kind of figure out what you want. But I think that's where it starts. Is you got to know what you want first before you can expect anybody else to want anything else. But
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for calling, and we hope to hear from you next week. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll talk to you next week from Kingston, Jamaica. All right, Jalen Glover says, you know what, Daniel? He says this to you, actually. He said,
Yeah,
all right,
this is a question for you.
what can I possibly do when a girl wants nothing to do with me?
Simple answer, and being honest, I'm going to be
there's more to it.
So that's all I got.
Wait,
I've
what?
been rejected by girls all the years of my life, and girls have treated me so badly.
Mm-hmm.
What else is there to do when they treat you like an outcast your entire life?
Daniel? Sarah? What else is there to do?
Well, honestly, truth of the matter is move on. First thing. I mean, okay, so these are the people that are going to treat you like your outcast. There's so
Not the
many
right
other people.
for you.
There's so many other people out in the world. Screw it. I mean, originally, I'm being honest, for me, when I first was like, okay, I'm getting into trying to talk to girls and everything, it was tough for me. I was getting rejected too, man. It was either...
Nah.
That's what I said. Right?
Nah.
Come on. I was skinny back then. It was great.
Yeah,
It was
no.
amazing. But no, I mean, still, it was just like, I was getting rejected, and it was like, okay, you've got a gap in your teeth, you're dark. Oh, that was a thing. And it was just like, so having to deal with that, but it was like, okay, you know what? Fine. So this isn't the group that's for me. There's definitely another group. And sure enough, I found that other group, and it works well. So it depends. Like, you have to understand, and one, be sure in yourself. Build up that self-confidence, man. Because you can't allow what someone else thinks about you to ruin you. Like, they say the phrase of, oh, well, you're being cocky. Be cocky or be confident. I don't care what you are. But nonetheless, know who you are.
But you also...
That's it.
You also can't, like... What if he's not like that?
No, that's what I'm saying. So the thing is, nonetheless, it's like I said, cocky, confident, whatever. If you can't be that, or if that's not you, learn to just have that level of, one, I respect myself. Two, I'm a catch. I just may not be a catch to these people.
Yeah.
Because trust me.
What he's saying is you're catering. You might be catering to the wrong crowds, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
That's definitely it. And I would say, like, man, you have to know exactly where your audience is. You know, your audience isn't always going to be there. It's like they say that rule of 10 where it's like, okay, there are 4 people that are going to like it. There are 2 that are just like, well, they're indifferent. And then after that, you know, there's just the rest of the group that's like, well, I hate it. And that's just going to be the way life is. Let the ball bounce and, you know, let the chips fall where they may. But you have to know that, hey, it's just not the right audience at the moment.
Yeah.
So move away from those people that see you as an outcast.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, move away from those people and see what happens.
For me personally, like growing up, my whole life, I was absolutely like a super nerdy outcast. I had a couple of girlfriends that, like, if it wasn't for them, I don't know how I would have made it through high school. That I'm still friends with to this day.
There you go.
And boys did not like me. They liked my friends.
Why?
I was really awkward and a super tomboy and very outspoken. Who could imagine?
What?
Yeah, I had zero tact and all the opinions in the world. And I was really awkward and chunky and bad hair and bad clothing. Like, you know, when I had really cute friends, super skinny, like one of them is like half Korean and half white. So she was like exotic looking.
Yeah, that's
you know, like, you know, a Puerto Rican girlfriend. Like, and like they were all just like, so, you tell me about your friend Helen, huh? And I'm like,
oh, really?
okay,
Really?
great. So that was my entire high school like experience, was being that girl for my friends. And it wasn't until I was out of high school. I think I had my first real relationship when I was 20.
Really?
I didn't have a boyfriend until I was like late 19, early like 20 years old. And yeah, so speaking of tribes, I had to get out of high school.
Honestly.
And then I was able to like experience other things and people that didn't just see me as this like super tomboy girl. I even had a boy who didn't like me because I was better at him than soccer.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, he tortured me.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Seriously. I moved from California
That insecure,
to
man.
Virginia. I had a #1 team in soccer. Here we go. And so I had to like retry out. And the way it worked there was it was boys and girls on the same team. I was better than all these boys, and I stopped him, and we went to school together, and he tortured me the rest of my life.
Serious?
Yes. All because I was better at him in sports. So
See, I mean-
I feel you. I feel
So let me
you.
ask you something, Daniel. Jalen asks.
The way he does it.
Hey, he does ask. He said, the reason he asks is he has a crush on Jasmine. She's not here anymore.
Right.
So we'll send this. I won't send this message. The two of them will send this message. How they feel. She wants to say how he feels about her. I don't know what I'm saying right now. I feel like if I tell her how I feel about her, she'll treat me the same way. Now,
Well, what do you mean? Like she'll like treat you as an outcast? She would absolutely never do that.
Jasmine, I don't feel that she's an individual that will treat you like an outcast. But the thing is, now I've got to ask, because this is one side of it, but you never really get the other side, and it's something that you always want to know. When you say they treat you like an outcast, one, you got to ask the question of, what have you ever thought to yourself, what did I do to get the same outcome from how many other people it was? Is there something that you're doing that's making them actually treat you like an outcast? That's something you got to ask yourself.
Absolutely.
You got to be honest, because if you're not going to be honest with yourself, there's no reason to ask a question. Just being direct with you. And second, beyond that, it's the question of, well, along with that, when you say an outcast, are you saying it from a bias standpoint, or are you saying it genuinely? Like, are they really treating you like an outcast?
Like she's gonna shun you, block you from everything, not speak to you, not like.
Like, I need to know just those little facts also. But if it is that it's that extreme, because there's one or another. If it is that, okay, you're just trying to be a natural guy, hey, I'm interested in you, etc., or I have a crush on you, and then they're like, oh my God, or they're like, oh, or they may react like, oh, that's sweet, blah blah, and later block, and all that stuff.
That happens.
People do, and if that's the case, okay, then fine. It's just not the group for you, man. I mean, like I said, move on from that.
And that
but
means those people aren't the people you thought they were.
Yeah,
so.
But with Jasmine, well, like I said before, I am not a fan of long distance stuff.
No.
If
he said he's in Los Angeles, so.
Really? No, I was like, wow. But I'm not a fan of long distance stuff, and trying to establish. I was like, oh really? No, I was like, oh really? Let's see what we can arrange. But I'm not a fan of long distance stuff.
No.
Because truth is, when you're an adult trying to establish anything with someone that's long distance, you need that FaceTime, and I don't mean like on an app.
I disagree. I disagree with that.
Really?
I'm dealing with something very similar, so I disagree with that.
You met the person in person. You met the person and established something in person. You had that FaceTime. He has never met her.
Sure.
In person.
Yeah, you can't go based on people you haven't met before.
Yeah, you can't establish something.
This is why catfishing happens, and it's not a good thing.
You have to be able to be with that person.
And why, when those people meet, they have such a connection on the phone, but then they meet in person, and it all falls to pieces.
Exactly. So I'm not a fan of ever doing that. I mean, yeah, I understand there's Tinder, swipe left, swipe right, but nonetheless they're in your area, and you get to actually meet them. When it's someone that, hey, I'm in Texas, you're in LA, or I'm here, and blah blah, it's still, you're not right there where you can actually speak to them. You're not accessible, they're not accessible as far as being in person. Yeah. So it's something I usually suggest against. But I mean, also taking it from another way, I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. Oh, you didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry. I was saying, and if you just feel the need to let someone know how you feel, there's also nothing wrong with that. That's
all I was going to say.
Yeah, but you can't expect the outcome to always go in your favor. Mm-hmm. So it could even just be as much as like Daniel saying, like earlier.
Man, Jalen, you sure did get over Kat really quick. Sorry.
Hush yourself. Do not interrupt me. It's rude. I will slap you in the face.
He did, though.
Let her finish.
Such a man. Like with Daniel saying he had a crush on me when we first met, we are still best friends.
Yeah.
And the reason we're doing this segment together is because we are good friends and have great on-screen chemistry together. Yeah. And like we're just those kinds of people. But it's okay that that's who we are to each other.
Yeah. So I mean, it can grow, and you can actually become an actual friend with someone.
Crushes too. Like I'm not gonna lie.
Absolutely.
When my first met like Maverick, I was like,
well, who wouldn't love Maverick? She's gorgeous.
It's the same thing.
I have a crush on Maverick.
Maverick's beautiful, but she knows. I mean, listen, she's one of the coolest people you're ever gonna meet. But now I look at her completely differently because she's a goof. You know what I mean? So I get it.
For sure, you get to know someone and that crush changes.
Exactly. That's exactly.
Yeah, or it doesn't, and you're mean.
But you also have to realize too, with us,
you're just like, dang it, why are you even better?
We all spend so much time together.
You love me?
It's a lot different. So we spend. I think it's maybe because we all spend so much time together.
Yeah, but also I have to say it this way also, and it's weird, and I'm just focusing this on Jasmine and you, in this capacity, and it's weird. I'm not trying to big up anyone like in that way, but it's celebrity and fan.
Yeah.
And with that, okay, that's going to happen a lot.
I say you just.
Also, it's an age. Jalen's only 19. He's almost 20 years old.
Yeah. See, you're almost 20. There's a big difference in age there, man. Big difference in age.
Jasmine is 29. I don't know if she wanted me to. No, she is.
Is she really?
She just turned 29. Yeah.
Oh wow.
For real?
Yeah.
All right, girl. Looking good.
Yeah, all right. Okay. So, I'm just saying, there's a difference in age, man. And sometimes that can be good. It's true. Sometimes it can be bad. Who knows? But the thing is, with that, I'm just saying there's, like I said, the whole difference in where it's like, okay, she may be into some capacity a celebrity.
Jalen, my advice to you is a little bit more realistic.
Oh, here you go.
It's I'm
dream crusher.
No, not a dream crusher. Realistically, I feel like they're both giving you great advice for what you want.
Thank you.
But for what
God, it's a compliment.
But for what you want isn't what necessarily is what you want. I think what you're doing is you're fantasizing something that you don't necessarily want. I think you're looking at something. Honestly, I'll be real with you, Jalen. If you want to find somebody that's in your region and the things that you're like, you need to look at those people locally and find out who they are as real people. Mm-hmm. What you're looking at with whether it be Daniel, Jasmine, myself, Sarah, is you're looking at honestly what we want you to see. Yeah. You're not looking at us for every single facet. Because I'll be honest, like a lot of the people, I appreciate a lot of the people really here. They like me a lot, but the fact is, I'm not the nicest guy in the world, and these guys will tell you that. I'm not. I can be like. I'm okay with that though, because I know who I am with certain things. With you guys, it's a different story because you guys are all great. Mm-hmm. But you don't get to see every facet of us every second of the day, which
my life is way cooler on social media than it is in real life.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's one of those things is that you're seeing the best sides of us. So you have to understand the realistic sides of it. So Jalen, me personally, I think that what you got to do is that you can't live in this bubble of what you see. You got to go out there and explore. Go to your local conventions. Go, hang out.
I got a crush on Chris Evans, but I mean that's
right,
not
but
gonna happen.
hang out with your local people and just see what you like based on that. I'm not saying that anything's out of reach, because nothing's out of reach, and don't ever let anybody tell you that it is. But what I am saying is that you gotta take in a perspective of what's real and like what's around you. Essentially, we're real. Obviously, we're real. See, he felt that.
Yeah, I did.
But that's what I gotta say to you. And we're gonna take more calls. So hit us up at that hashtag show.
Oh, a dating app. I love that question actually.
What's up? I missed it.
Do you recommend a dating app? Cuddly?
Joe, now I see you the Tony Stark in you.
Well, Cuddly is an interesting app.
Their app just launched. Didn't
Yeah,
it?
like
I haven't
finally
had I haven't had a chance to play on it.
Yeah, and it's a great concept. It's pretty much
Coffee
Tinder.
Meets Bagel is
Hey,
a great app.
I actually got a real good. This is a legit question.
Okay.
Yes.
So, I know, Sarah, you're opposed to guys with dogs in their profile, but
I'm not opposed to it.
No, well, what about
I like
about dogs in real life?
I love dogs.
So if a guy was like, "Hey, let me borrow your dog,"
Yeah.
I'm like, what's
Okay.
the
Okay, someone has already borrowed my dog to date a girl.
Really?
Someone has already borrowed
Like
my dog
honestly,
to date a girl.
it depends on how you find out, right? So for me, like yes, it is. Love connection.
Anyways,
Larry.
hold on for
Larry.
all of you guys that don't know, all the super chats tonight and maybe for the next week are all going to the hurricane relief in Houston, Texas.
Yes.
So to everybody,
We're gonna send it to someone other than the Red Cross because we're not sending it to the Red Cross.
well, we don't have to send it to the Red Cross, but I do want to help out Texas because there's a lot of people
Absolutely.
in Texas right
There's
now.
some great organizations
Like
that
I
are
was
helping.
just having this conversation with my father about how Texas is going to take a while to rebuild
Definitely.
their city, and I'd love.
They're gonna do it, and they're gonna do
They're
it
gonna
with
do
like
it.
pride and joy, and
Because
they're gonna all help
listen,
each other. It's
for all you
village,
folks
man.
for all you folks in Texas, listen. One thing you guys always talk about is you guys are Texas strong, and right now you
We're
guys have
seeing
been
it.
proving it.
We're seeing
So, Texas, we support you 1,000%. So anything we can do to help you guys out, we will do that.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
And as far as I get it. The love connection is great, but Quest for Player 2 is so much better.
Better. I'm sorry. What did you ask me again?
Sorry, I asked you about the dog.
Oh, the dog. Okay, finding out. Are you asking about finding out when it's a lie?
Not
Or
when it's
like
a lie.
or what are you asking?
But is it? So there's certain things. All right.
I don't. Let me say this. I don't swipe right on dogs
Well,
and
let me
people
ask you.
with dogs.
So-
however, my roommate does. So she's like, I swiped on his dog. I'm like, he's okay. There's some things in his profile that don't seem kosher.
So if the profile's good and the guy is cute and he has a dog,
The dog is the bonus.
okay, good, yeah. But you would definitely say no if it's just a picture of the dog and nothing else, right?
Well, I mean,
I would say no if it's just a picture of the dog. Why is this happening?
If
on
the
this
dog
screen?
is, if it's the dog is their first picture on the thing, and it's I'll swipe to the next picture just to see.
You're getting baited in.
It's fine.
You're getting
There's nothing
baited
wrong with
in.
that. Now, if you find out that this person doesn't actually own this dog, it just, like, you know what I
Why'd you
mean?
laugh like
Like
that?
the lie
Somebody
comes
borrowed my
out.
dog.
Then it depends on how it happens. Like, how many dates in are you? One? Is it like, how did you find out?
But
Like,
I
did you
think-
try to say the dog died,
You know,
and then
here's
like
the
your
deal.
friend showed up?
I think that's the superficialness of the girl, though.
What? Because I like dogs.
Well, no, because if you're only going out for the guy for his dog,
I'm not
that's-
going out with the guy for his
Yeah,
dog.
if it
No,
listen,
she said it's a bonus.
I'll tell you right now. There's girls that have literally talked to me because I put on an accent, and then when I didn't do the accent, they were I was like, "Oh, your American accent's terrible." But it was all, and it's like, wait, are people that superficial? Or
Well, I mean, we have dating apps where you're basically swiping on faces.
I can't have an accent. Yeah, that's true.
Well,
You know,
once again,
it's different
love
than-
at first sight, which is equal lust at first sight.
Right.
So that's it.
Well, like online dating's been a thing that's been around for years.
Yeah.
I have friends who met online before we got apps. My parents have friends that met online
Yep.
before we had apps. Online dating used to be about who the person is, seeing some pictures, and then we have things where you swipe, and it's become this movement where you care more about the picture than anything else, and you're missing out on some great people. Online dating and dating apps will never replace meeting people in real life, because there are people in real life you would give a chance that you would never give a chance on just a photo alone.
Here's a question then. Online dating.
Yes.
What's an acceptable icebreaker for you?
Do not tell me I'm pretty. I swear to God, I will ignore you. But an acceptable icebreaker online, read the person's profile and tell me why, like, comment on something in there.
What's the best pickup line?
I don't care for pickup lines.
Let's pretend though. Like, what's
Okay,
the best
Daniel, give me a pickup line. You just saw my thing on Tinder, you swiped right and we matched. You're going to say, what up?
No, I'm gonna
What are you going to say?
What's witty? Let's hear it.
So you're a Rogue fan, really? What's your favorite thing about Rogue?
And then I would answer you honestly.
You see?
Because in this,
That starts the conversation.
you started a
because what did I do?
conversation about
So
something
is mine
I paid
not good?
attention to the profile.
It's, I might not be a weatherman, but you can expect more than a couple inches tonight. Is that not a good line?
I'm not even,
But
I'm honestly
more than a couple, so now it's like, oh great,
not
I'm only
even
expecting
going to
3.
answer
He's like,
that
no.
because you're just trying to bait me right now and you aren't as cute as a
But
dog.
you got it. You got to admit, it was funny enough for people to get a chuckle where they're like, "That was funny."
Yeah,
No.
but I mean, hey, congratulations.
To me, I'm
bro. You're
just like,
hitting-
absolutely
no,
not.
It's dudes
I'll
that are
ignore
laughing.
you.
Are you hitting on dudes? No. So it's like,
I
The thing
disagree.
is-
It's work.
this
It's
is-
work.
The thing is too, this is me. There are other girls that might be like, that's hilarious and like, and chime in. I'm just
But
not that
I'm saying
person.
what I suggest as far as the icebreaker line or something like that, mention something that was in the profile. You learned something. Now here's the test. That's how it works. Women do like to know that, okay, you're paying attention.
You read the profile?
Just the worst.
Women like to know that you're paying attention. And that's why I definitely suggest reading the profile and then trying to formulate a question concerning the profile. Because two things everyone loves is, one, being respected, and two, talking about themselves. Even though they
See,
say
Anna
things
agrees
like-
with me. Sometimes I cannot accept when
true.
someone says, okay, it's not accepting when someone says that you're pretty. There's a difference. If I also have a hard time taking compliments. Like if you get to me, you're like, wow, you're so beautiful. I'm like, thank you. I've gotten a lot better at just saying thank you and like not being weird about it. But if that is the first thing that you say to me, I want nothing to do with you.
Leonardo.
Yeah.
Leonardo, welcome.
That was
so weird.
I was like, what just happened?
Okay, so a guy gives you, the first thing he does is say, like, okay, you're in a bar, comes from across the bar and says, I don't know what else to say to you, and I'm sorry, I'm just meeting you. I haven't said hello to you or anything.
Super chat.
Oh yeah!
Oh, wow. They call me TFC Daniel Fin. Wait, what?
What does TFC stand for?
Wait, what? They call me TFC. What?
Daniel, finish that sentence.
I don't know if
He
I can
doesn't
finish that
know.
sentence.
Well, judges in the room, what's it
They call me
mean?
TFC.
That's my pickup line.
Oh,
Do it again?
Go ahead, do it.
I forgot what it was. What's the one? Is it the fucking or truly fucking right? Is it, they call me TFC. It's really fucking cool, right? Is that totally fucking cool? That's it, right?
That's so
they call
ridiculous.
me TFC. Totally fucking cool. That's a Filipino accent, and that's something that we've heard before.
man.
Hey, that was
And that's
pretty-
why it was something we heard before, and that's what made it
I've never heard
amazing.
that. I've never heard that
I
in my
get
life.
it.
That
I
was
get
super
it.
racist.
Totally
That was
fucking
racist.
cool. And it was like,
What?
yeah, 'cause it's like,
Yeah.
no, but okay, so
See, that's what you're doing
come
though is
across
a little different. It's a little awkward. It's kind of charming.
yes, see, that's what I thought. Like,
But you can't
it's
convey
funny-
that on text message.
No,
No,
I said, but she said the thing about
Which is
like,
why in
someone saying-
person-
How about this one?
We'll
I'm not a
never-
fireman, but I know how to turn the hose on.
I will slap
Is that a
you.
good?
Yeah.
No.
So you were saying.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. In person will never replace online because what you're saying there is like I don't know what else to say to you. That is never what is said.
Right.
It is God, you're gorgeous or God, you're beautiful. Like I talk about this with my girlfriends all the time.
So if they approach you still, but they did it that
Or
way,
DTF.
okay, in text. Oh, if they in text, they say, "I read your profile. I know there's so many things to talk about, but honestly, what drew me to your profile was your beauty."
That's
And
yeah. Then I might be like, okay, well, like you tried something other than just that.
Okay,
Guys,
but it
if you
can't
want
be
to call in,
your
we're only going to
gorgeous
take
beauty.
one
That's it.
more
It's
call.
annoying.
Blackwing liked my line, by the way. If
Yeah.
you're going to take one more call about your love advice, hey, it's good. It's pretty good. But that's going to be it. But if you guys have any final thoughts before, if we do end up taking one more call?
Well, the final thoughts will come with the call.
If it does come with the call.
But otherwise, I'm really excited.
What's
for
the best
Quest for
first
Fire
date?
2. I'm just saying. The best first date is somewhere that isn't noisy. Like I know people are always like dinner and a movie, but I actually really like putt-putt. Like
miniature golf.
miniature golf is really fun. You get to like be slightly competitive because I am, and you get to actually talk with each other. And then if it goes well, then like maybe if you wanted to do dinner beforehand, but not always. You get some ice cream afterwards. Like like.
I think.
What do you think?
I agree with that.
I like that.
I'm not the first date dinner in a movie because in a movie you don't get to talk to somebody.
No, and you're sitting there awkward, like.
And that's it. You don't know what to do. Okay, it's the first date. Do we touch hands? Do we hold hands? Do we not? I don't know. Like, you don't know what to do. And it's like, also, it's just, you're not getting to know someone at dinner in a movie.
Because you don't get to talk.
What's entertaining you? What are you guys paying attention to? The movie. Then after that, now you'll have something to talk about.
And at dinner, sometimes you're so nervous you can't eat and your stomach's upset. Like, it's a whole thing.
See, but what I like to do, I'm one that's like anti-conventional. So, like, I remember I was talking before, like, my thing is, sure, I'll definitely do a dinner thing, but let me drive, and this is what we'll do. I'll try to change it up. And I'm like, hey, you know what? Because I guess I'm different. You want to have dessert first? And then they're like,
blindfold
on. They're like, yeah, okay. And then I'll
take
go
you to
somewhere.
my dungeon.
I'll go somewhere different. I'll go somewhere different from dessert than when we're going to actually have the meal.
Yeah.
But doing that, taking you outside of what we normally do, one, makes you stand out, and two, lets them know, hey, I'm fun, and I don't mind making, going along, making changes, and you get to know that person doesn't have a problem with, okay, we can go against the plan.
Yeah.
As long as we are still having fun, which is great. So you get to see everyone's level of adaptability and everything like that. So I'm like, let's have dessert first.
Blackwing suggests Dave & Buster's.
That's too... I think
it's too loud.
Not only that, but I also think it's too interactive where you're not getting to know a person. So I feel like the best first date are the ones that are the most like... Yeah, I agree. Like where you can talk to somebody and it's more intimate. I mean, for me, like I like hiking. Something that's simple as hiking.
That's how you get murdered.
That's true. I like hiking. I dig batting cages. I'm a big fan of that.
How about a walk in the park? Well, as long as it's not Central Park, you're good.
I think the reason with movies I'm not so fond of is that it's you and like 500 other people watching a movie. But I do like interactive things. Like I think
you could do a theme park.
You know what I actually think would be fun too is also fortune telling. Because it's just so much
works. That works.
Listen, I don't give a shit about this.
That's hilarious.
That works so well.
It does work because it's because if you both don't care, it's like, okay, sure, read my fortune.
Palm. Actually, no joke.
You know what I mean?
Great date that I did, and fortune telling was in it, and I only went because I remember that time when you went to that house.
Well,
so
I went to fortune.
Yeah,
I did.
But I did a whole date in the South Bay where that's how we started. It was there. We went fortune telling, and then from there, I said, let's do dessert first, and I went to the creamery thing, Manhattan Beach Creamery. Shout out, you guys are getting a shout out, please do some stuff. And then after that, I went to Fish Bar. And then
go get some ice cream.
So it was like, boom, boom. Like we went the opposite way instead of going that way. It was so great. It let us talk about stuff. So
get a dessert and a walk.
I will judge it all the time.
Hey, don't judge Central Park.
I will judge it all the time. Hasn't responded back yet. Oh, what? What's going on? Thanks, Blackwing. I really don't know if I'll recover from tonight. I told Daryl on.
Well, let me just, Kat, I'm gonna just talk to you real quick. The whole Daryl thing. First of all, number one, Daryl is. I don't think that's what he's talking about. He's talking about the Leonardo DiCaprio thing.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
I like girls.
But anyways, Daryl's in Sacramento right now. I think he's at a convention. So if he hasn't responded to you, that he doesn't have Wi-Fi right now. So
don't stress too
hard about it. Now, but Leonardo. Opinion of the actors Leonardo DiCaprio.
We already talked about it. You got to rewind and start from the beginning.
Yeah, so in the beginning, we opened this up with talking about Leonardo DiCaprio in the Joker movie and the origin, which I don't think should happen. But back to this, talking about first dates, I also think another one would be visiting a pet store to see how crazy she gets around animals. Just saying, zoos. But anyway, Jalen Glover says, Joe, thank you so much for helping me. I didn't really help you. These guys helped you. Feel like you would be a really good life coach or something? Listen, if you're taking life advice from me,
from this guy.
You're on the wrong path.
Yeah, literally. Joe looks to somehow curb your life. So
actually, that's not true. I actually think that I actually give really good advice.
Excuse me.
I give really good advice, but
I don't take it.
No, I think you should take it.
No, I'm saying I give good advice, but I don't take my own advice.
Yeah, I wouldn't give good advice for myself, but I give good advice for like everybody else. But for me personally with relationships, listen, what I do is what I do, and I think this is a lesson that you should learn from both of these guys, is that no matter what they're going to tell you, what you're going to do is what you're going to do, and they can't tell
100%.
They can't tell you how to live your life, but what they can do is put you down the right path. And I can do the same thing, but I'm never going to be able to give any single one of you guys in there the exact answer to the problems you're looking for. No. Because at the end of the day, we all got to figure them out with ourselves. I can give good advice when it comes to other things, but relationship stuff, I'm not the guy you're going to be asking. If you're asking what kind of scotch you want to drink, come to me. But I think that's going to do it for us here at that hashtag After Dark. I hope you enjoyed the show. Sarah, where can we find you?
You can find me at Roguetastic on all the social media stuff. I'm going to be doing the upcoming DC after show that we're going to be doing this fall once all these shows start up. And
that's about the Washington Redskins, the DC.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. And the whole changing of the name. It's a whole thing.
Exactly. Yeah. There's a big moment about Christian Okoye. It's going to be great.
Christian Okoye.
Hey, you said Redskins.
What are you, 1993?
Yes, I'm telling you, it's a documentary, man.
Joe, where can they find you?
You can find me at that hashtag Joe on all social media. You can also check me over at Screen Rant. You can watch me here every week. I'm here all the time.
All the time.
Daniel?
You can find me on Hessian Hangout. You can also find me on a lot of new shows coming up in the fall. But as far as social media, you can find me at Quest for Player 2. That's where you can find me.
And that's going to do it for us here at I was going to say Hessian Hangout. That's going to do it for us here at hashtag After Dark. Again, our thoughts and prayers are with the people in Houston,
absolutely,
Texas right now. You guys are recovering. You guys are resilient. And Texas is one of the greatest states in this nation. So we're pretty confident you guys are going to do fine. Also, the people in Burbank right now that are affected by these fires, we're also here for you. Take care and just be safe. Anybody out there. Our message of the night is just to be safe. Wrap it up, is what they're telling me. But we're going to do it. That's it. Thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with everything trending
in geek pop culture.